So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the day 4 training program of ours on MS Excel. And I believe everybody settled down and good to go. Any doubt or queries for day 3, whatever we discussed, so that if you have, we can discuss something on this. Else, we'll start with our day 4. No problem, Parag. That's what I told you. We have got, in fact, maximum one overnight. It was there. So we have time. You have got the recordings also. So practice well, not an issue. So thing is, now you got to know how to present your data, how to put forth your ideas, how to interpret your data, and how to analyze the data. Whenever you download the data from SAP or ERP system, instead of waiting for someone's call or waiting for someone's input, how to go ahead. And before proceeding further, I told you the basic rules. Whenever you go for SAP driven data, so if you want to go for pivot table, those three things very essential to confirm the data contains header. There should not be any blanks, and there should not be any merged data. Date column should be in date format, number column should be in number format. So that is essential, and then you can start working with and play around with your data. All right, so let us go for our sample case studies folder. The file name is called corporate case studies. So please open the file name called corporate case studies. All right. So just to remind you, we have discussed in our day 2, we have discussed the basic formula or functions of Vlookup and Hlookup, application of the same, and how to use the same. Which is the scenario we can use all these formulas, and what are the conditions, on which condition this Vlookup and Hlookup can be applied. Those things we have seen. So today we are going to see one level up. So go to the next sheet, naming called Advanced Lookup. Go to the sheet, naming called Advanced Lookup. Okay. So here, please confirm you got this sheet open on the screen. Y for yes in the chat box.
What is the name of the sheet?
Sheet name is Advanced Lookup, ADB Lookup.
Okay.
All right. So now let me take you through the data, what we have, what is the objective, then we start working with it. Okay. So in this sheet, you will be finding, suppose say, take an example. My boss asked me, Prabhas, get me the entire employee related information. So I just downloaded a report and I found there are 10,000 records comes in this format. What is that? Employee ID, name of the employee, department they belong to, position they hold, and the salary they draw. Complete picture is there. Now looking at the same, my boss is demanding me that Prabhas, do me a favor, create a template for me in such a way, whenever I go and type any of the employee ID, the corresponding details should available automatically. What my boss is saying, this is the data, it is there. And based on this, the 10,000 records, based on this, my boss is asking me to create a template in such a way, whenever he goes and types any of the employee ID, the corresponding details should available. So let's take a sample case, ID 004. If you talk about this, who is that ID? Whose ID is this ID 004? It's of Mr. D, correct? So that should available over here, Mr. D. What is the department he's working? Legal. It should appear over here. What is the position he holds? Manager, it should appear over here. Then how much is the salary? 2000, that should appear over here. So this is what he is expecting from me. So now if that is the case, then what we can do for this, or how we'll prepare such kind of templates, how we'll customize such kind of templates. Give me some ideas on this. Hope the objective is clear.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So whatever it comes to your mind, voluntarily, anybody can share his ideas that what can be done in this case. Making a pivot table, Sweta, pivot table is why it is required, pivot table. See, I told you pivot table where this is going to come. Pivot table where it comes from the picture when you have a huge data and you want to summarize. So do you have anything to summarize? The data is already there. You are looking for a specific information. That's what I told you the other day, right? Vlookup or Lookup, why we have been using? We have been using to search a specific record out of a huge chunk of data. There we go for VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP. So here, the moment I want to go for employee ID wise details, I can go for VLOOKUP because the data is here in vertical format and I am also looking for the data in vertical format. So VLOOKUP first rule is satisfied. I can go for VLOOKUP. Now, if I want to go for VLOOKUP, okay, what we need to do, we can go for is equal, no need to do anything, just look at my screen. Lookup value is this one, comma, I'll go for table array. If I'm looking for name only, I can select like this, all right? And then comma, which column, the name it is there in this border area, second column. So I can go for 2, comma, what kind of match? I told you 0 for exact match, and I will be getting my record. But the moment I go and apply this formula towards right over here, I'm getting the records, no doubt about it. But that is again what is happening if I go for department, position, salary, I have to keep changing the column index numbers, isn't it? Like say, if you talk about this data, how many columns are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if I'm looking for name, column index number is supposed to be 2. Department, 3. Position, 4. Salary, 5. So if I'm going for my VLOOKUP formula, I have to use 4 times the VLOOKUP formula and I have to keep changing my column index number from 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. Do you agree with this? Whatever I'm saying. Absolutely. And in that case, Excel doesn't recommend that you should go to each and every column and individually edit the formula. That's not the right practice, but we have, because we believe that is the only way we can deliver the things. So today we are going to improve some standard of reporting. So whatever the existing practice we do have, that we are going to stop today. So now the objective is when your lookup value is matched, based on that, how to fetch multiple matched columns over there by using VLOOKUP. So VLOOKUP, once the data is matched, how to get the multi-column VLOOKUP over there. See, first 1 minute, you please watch my screen, what I'm doing, try to understand. Then next 1 minute, you can try. See, as I told you, the practice what we have developed, always select your solution area where you need to design or bring the solution. Well, equal to, I will go for VLOOKUP. The reason here the data is in vertical format and I am also looking for the data in vertical format. Okay, lookup value. I told you the other day, what is the meaning by lookup value? Whatever you have with you to search. So we have employee ID to search. So I'm just clearing one by one element. So lookup value is your employee ID. Is that clear?
Yes.
Right. Now the moment, let's take a next look on the same. the moment when I copy this formula towards right, A11 should not move right. A11 should not move right. Do you agree when I copy the formula? A11
Agree.
should, yes. But when I copy this formula towards down, tomorrow, if my boss is looking for some more employee IDs related records, so he will keep on typing A11, A12, A13, A14 like that. He will keep on typing. Do you agree with that?
Correct.
Now, if you see the moment, our lookup value should not move right, but if necessary, lookup value should move down for finding further more employee related records. So one movement we have to restrict is that row movement, but we have to make the column movement on. So as I told you in our date diff formula the other day, the moment your data is moving within a column, the moment your cell is moving within a column, we have to lock only the column. And to lock the column, we have to bring the dollar symbol before column number or column name. And to bring the dollar symbol before column name, F4 thrice. Do you agree with the setup?
Yes.
Come on. Now, lookup value criteria is set. What is the next one? Is called table array. So table array, this complete data we are looking for. Do you agree with that? The entire 10,000 records of employee related information, the entire thing we are looking for, that is what the table array, this is the place where we are going to search our data.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. And as we know, the same range of data should not move down or move right with the formula movement. Do you agree?
Sorry, please repeat. Sorry.
Table array A2 to E7, this entire range, when I copy this formula towards down, this range should not move down. And when I copy this formula towards right, this range should not move right. Do you agree with that?
Correct.
So no movement, no movement. When there is no movement, what kind of locking system we should do? Both the things to be locked, column to be locked, row to be locked. If you want to lock both the options, then F4 once. Do you agree with that? This is what we have been doing since day one. Small, large formula, then data presentation sheet, and then we have gone for date diff formula. So many cases we have done with this F4 key application of dollar symbol. So table array should be locked. So table array element setup is clear. Can I take that?
Yes, for me.
Right. Now the moment we go for next column index number. So stay focused, no need to do anything as I'm saying to you. Column index number, name in my border area, how many columns are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Name is in which column? Second. Department is in third. Position is in fourth. Salary is in 5. This is 2, 3, 4, 5 for your understanding. I have typed. Technically in the template, this is not playing any role. So no need to worry about this. This is for the understanding. So column index number, I am looking for not only 2, but also 3, 4, 5. So when I'm going to apply this formula towards right, my column index numbers will change like this: 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. Do you agree with that? But can you define all these 4 numbers at once as a column index number? 2, 3, 4, 5. Can we define at once as a column index number? Can I define like this 2, 3, 4, 5? Can I define like this? Do you think that Excel VLOOKUP formula is going to understand something? Not at all.
No.
Right. And over here, if I want to define, I have to go and again change the column index number 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. And that is what we have already ruled out. We are not supposed to do like that. So in this case, our problem is lying with the column index number. How to make the column index number dynamic? And if you remember day one, the moment we have gone for the formula small and large, there was a requirement of 1, 2, 3. In place of K, the ranking purpose, we were looking for 1, 2, 3. Did you remember small and large formula?
Yes.
And what we did over there to get the ranking, instead of taking the external column help, what is that formula exactly we used in small and large along with that? To remember the row formula.
Yeah, row, column, bracket complete.
Yeah, row formula, row bracket open bracket close. Then we have deducted with the previous row number to get 1, 2, 3 like that, right? Since the data was moving in row, we had used row formula, but now the data is moving in column. Column is changing, B to C, C to D, D to A, like 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. So instead of row, we'll be using a formula called column. Like row formula gives me the row number as the answer. Column formula is going to give me the column number as the answer. Now, if you see which column we are trying to type this formula, what is that column we are trying to type this formula?
Column 2.
What is this column?
B column.
B.
B column.
Right. So column is B, but B is a alphabet. But if you count starts with A, what is the number B is going to give me?
2.
2. So its column formula is going to give me the column number as the answer. Since we are writing the formula in column B, my column formula will return as 2. Let me show you. Is it returning the answer as 2? Yes. So as we were discussing, column formula is getting me the answer as 2. And for VLOOKUP purpose, we were looking for 2 only. Do you agree? So my column formula, whatever the number, the answer it returns, that is nothing but becomes my column index number for VLOOKUP formula. All right. Now, bracket, comma, bracket close, comma. Then what is the next thing it is asking? Range lookup. So as I told you, what is the meaning by range lookup? I told you, ignore this entire stuff. And I told you a rule, VLOOKUP always ends up with what?
0.
What is the purpose of 0? I told you the other day.
Minus.
No, not minus.
Exact match.
Yes, absolutely.
Exact match.
Very good. Exact match or one to match. So whatever the employee ID is there, if it is going to be there as it is ID 004 going to be matched exactly one-to-one match or exact match, then that is called 0. So formula is ready only for a cell, but we need to apply for the rest. So what is the shortcut we learned?
Control enter.
Very good. Control enter. Now see the beauty with instant effect, we will be getting our result over here. And the moment you keep changing your employee ID, automatically the value will be changing accordingly. So this is what your VLOOKUP with multiple column value, how to bring it, how to make your column index number dynamic, that we have discussed. So give it a try, please.
To get a dollar sign, what you have to do, Prabhas?
F4.
F4.
If it is not a direct key, function with F4 key. Yes, people, any doubt, any queries in understanding? Because this is very, very essential in our routine activities. Instead of wasting our time by typing the formula time and again, one formula alone is enough. Yeah. So, Smita, first of all, did you understand over here when I explained 2, 3, 4, 5? So if I am looking for VLOOKUP formula individually, if I go and operate, I'll be using the column index number like this. Do you agree? Shweta, it's for you.
Yes.
Right. Now the same thing, we are trying to get it through column formula. See, as I told you, column formula always gives the column number as the answer. Since we are in column number 2 in B, you can see now we are in column number B. B is an alphabet, but technically if you count, it is 2 or second, correct? So
Yeah.
is this giving me 2 column formula? So now,
Yeah, it is give.
right, now when I go and apply this formula towards right, so automatically my column, once it is changing, automatically the numbers also giving accordingly.
Okay. Yes.
So that is what we did. So column index number
Okay.
purpose, we use the column formula. That's it.
Okay. For because we were in column number 2, that's why we have used it like that, and it automatically takes the same column where the formula is applied.
Right, whichever the column you are operating, it will be taking that. So since we are operating in column number 2, name is in second column and we are operating with that. That's why we have used column formula and it is taking column B answer.
Okay. Okay, understood.
Right.
Thank you.
Welcome. Yeah, so whatever we did so far, now it is clear for everyone. Can I take it like that? Avinash, clear?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now, let's analyze the same situation. No need to do anything. Please stay focused on my screen. See, this is what we have done. We have created the formula in the template and template is working fine. We have understood, but we cannot have our template having a sample data ready over there on the screen like this and we can send it across. So template always has to remain blank, right? So now for this case, when I go to the employee ID and if I delete, what happens? My formula is in trouble. It is giving the error kind of hash NA and reason because of data absence. So since data is not there, my formula is giving this kind of error. So I cannot have a template showing the error like this and send it across to my customer, to my vendor, or to my superior, whoever XYZ. We cannot do that. So in this case, how to control these errors? I will tell you. Whenever you believe that your formula is returning the answer as a NA, or because of data absence, it is showing as NA. So instead of showing NA, what you can do, you can add something, not available, not applicable, blank, hyphen, anything you can go for it. And for that, you have to use one more formula before VLOOKUP is called if error. So if error is the formula, can be combined with any formula, and the basic job is to handle all the formula driven errors. So now look at my formula bar over here. I'm just explaining the concept. See, first, VLOOKUP formula will be processed by Excel. And if VLOOKUP formula returns the answer as an error, then if error formula will be applied in step 2. Now, when we have already declared that if error formula is to be applied, then the replacement for the errors, the output in place of errors also we need to discuss. So in that case, we need to keep our cursor after VLOOKUP formula, that close bracket, comma, whatever you are expecting, that you must write within 2 double inverted quotes, anything, dash, hyphen, nil, not available, not applicable, anything within 2 double inverted quotes. But I told you, since this is a template, we have to retain the cell as blank. And day 1, I have already told you while designing a logical formula, how to retain the cell as blank with 2 immediate double inverted quotes. No space in between. Formula is ready only for a cell, but you need to apply for the rest. Control Enter and see the beauty. As long as there is no data over here, my formula is remaining silent. So tomorrow, when I copy any of this data or any of the employee ID, and over here for the sample, I'm testing and I'm getting my data ready. So this is how, whenever there is a need while designing the templates and all those things, you have to keep all these formulas ready, and over there you can work around. Okay, so please give it a try. This is applied in name cell only, below to name, the formula where it starts with. See, the formula starts from name cell, ending up with salary cell, right? So hope this is working for everyone. I got a confirmation from Abhinash, Vinod, and Sweta. How about the others people? If you need my support, any queries are there, feel free to ask. All right. Now, let us again analyze the same situation, what we have done. Now, please stay focused. No need to do anything. Suppose this is what the template we have designed, and we have presented the same to the next level. Say my boss, I have presented like this. And what my boss did, he just typed a data in this format, like ID 002, something like that he typed. And the moment he hits enter, it is not working. He got panic. And immediately he called up me. Prabhas, what is the template you have given? It is not working. I got shocked. because the moment I have sent this file to him, I checked twice. It was working fine, but I have no idea what is the thing it has gone wrong. So to understand the same, I have gone to his cabin, and the moment I'm watching his screen, I could realize that he has not defined the data properly. So in this case, the moment I am getting out of my seat, coming back to his cabin to explain the things, what is the thing that's gone wrong, the moment I'm explaining, whose premium time is being wasted?
Yes.
Definitely. And for this, who is the reason behind all these things? Whose mistake is in this?
It's also yours.
Why?
Maybe there is some mistake or there is some forgot in the formula.
How come?
Something like that.
How come there is the formula? There is nothing wrong. The formula is absolutely working fine. My boss has not given the data properly. He has not typed properly. That is his mistake. How come my mistake? But one corporate truth, you know that truth is always bitter. Boss is always right. Am I right? So there is no scope of blaming boss. Do you agree with me, everybody? So in this case, somebody has to take responsibility. Who is left then? Definitely, it's for me. So it is my mistake. Why it is my mistake? Because I have given that opportunity to my boss to type the data. I should not have allowed him to type. So from the entire story, what you have understood that whenever you are designing a template, give the least options to the people to type the data. Keep all the ready-made options on and give a chance only to select from that ready-made list. So basically here we are going to control all the errors by creating a drop-down list. And how to create a drop-down list? See, keeping the cursor in A11, I will go to my data. What if analysis? We have seen the goal seek the other day. Okay, in the same data tools group, we have an option called data validation. I repeat, going to data. Over here, we have an option called data validation. Okay, so just 1 minute, you please watch my screen first. So data validation, when I go for it over here, this is going to give me the dialog box like this. Here, the first one, allow value or settings validation criteria, it is showing us any value by default, but we are going to create a list. So we need to choose the option called list from the drop down. And then this is asking me, where is the source data? To create a drop down, where is the data? So the data is from A3 to A7, not the header, only for the data point. So these are the employee IDs list. For this purpose, we are going to create a drop down. And the moment you have done with this, click OK. You got your drop down ready. So only thing is my boss is now going to do a job. He can select from the drop down and things are become more dynamic. And chances of committing mistakes are very, very low, almost to zero. How? Even if he doesn't listen to me, he did not choose the drop down and he goes to type something of his own, then this is not going to allowed by Excel. Excel will not respond to that. And in fact, it is giving an error to that person. So what is the thing now he has to do? He will understand, okay, this is the place where I have to look into. So this is how, whenever you design a template, just create a drop down for a ready-made list so that people will not commit any kind of mistakes and your job will become more secure. So please go for that. Create a drop down in our below to employee ID. So keeping the cursor in that cell, go to data validation.
Can you explain one more time, Prabhas?
Here, going to A11 cell.
Going to data
Validation.
Okay.
And when you click, it is showing validation criteria allow button over here as any value. You have to go to the drop down and choose list.
Right.
Then in the source box, you have to select where is your employee IDs starting from A3 to A7. Right? Hope it is working.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, so this is what the story of our scenario one. I believe everybody is able to do that properly and all the concept, everything is clear, column index number, how to make it dynamic and how to use if error formula with any other formula also to get our errors in control. And finally, how to use a drop-down list and make the formula dynamic over here connecting to the cell. So all those things we have understood in our scenario one. Now, let us go for our scenario two. So scenario two, if you look at over here, same name, department, position, salary only we need. But the thing is, employee ID is changing. So if you look at employee ID 003, who's that person? Mr. C, department, HR, position, assistant, salary 300. That should appear over here. So how to get that? Okay, we look up again. Fine, very good. So I have gone for selecting all the cells. Okay, we look up. I have gone for, okay, lookup value. Yes, Vita, tell me lookup value, what I'm supposed to write.
Select G column.
Okay, so G4, is it the right cell as lookup value?
Yes.
Okay, so what is the next then?
We have to lock with F4.
Okay, very good. Then,
Comma.
right.
Select the data.
Okay, table array from where to where?
From entire table 2
Okay.
to 7.
Okay.
Comma.
Are you
No,
sure?
sorry, lock.
Okay, right.
Comma.
Okay,
Let's see. Column bracket close, open bracket close,
okay,
comma 0,
okay,
bracket complete,
okay,
control enter.
okay. It's not working.
Something be wrong.
So what is the thing that's wrong?
Select the table range from A3.
Does it make any difference? If that is the case, then here also I should have selected A3, right? Why did I go for A2? There A2, if it is working, then why it should not work over here? See, situation is same. Here also 2, 3, 4, 5 we need. Here also we need 2, 3, 4, 5 only. And the data sequence is same in the table array and the output, the data sequence is remaining the same. So as long as the data is remaining the same, then we can go for column combination to get our column index number dynamic. But I told you column formula, what it does, which column you are trying to type this formula. Which column?
H.
What is the number for H? One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my column formula is generating me the answer as 8. Can you see that? But
Yes.
what we are looking for in our table array, name is in which column?
B.
Not B, not B. In the table array, I told you in border area, name is in which column? You should read by the columns. ID first column, name is in second column, department is in third column. So name is in second column. So column formula already returns me as 8, but I am looking for 2. So basic mathematics, -6. Can we do that?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
Control enter. We got the result. So what we have understood, when the data is shifting, the location is changing, then we have to slightly tweak the column index number, adjusting the column formula. Okay, so give it a try. So hope this is working. Why did you take this? That is clear. Why did you deduct this?
Can I share my sheet?
Yeah.
Mr. C is there, but बाकी का नहीं आ रहा है डिपार्टमेंट नेम.
हाँ, क्योंकि आपने सेल को लॉक नहीं किया, जो एम्प्लॉय आईडी है उसको लॉक नहीं किया. पूरा का पूरा सॉल्यूशन सिलेक्ट करो. हाँ, फॉर्मूला को ओपन करो, फंक्शन F2. हाँ, G4 को कॉलम लॉक कर दो. G4 जो लुकअप वैल्यू है, लुकअप वैल्यू G4 जो है उसको कॉलम लॉक कर दो. F4 3 टाइम्स, फंक्शन F4 फॉर योर केस 3 टाइम्स. कंट्रोल एंटर.
अगर ये फॉर्मूला हम नीचे ले रहे हैं, इसलिए वहां पर हमें कुछ वैल्यू माइनस करने का जरूरत नहीं पड़ा.
एब्सोल्युटली
है ना
जी.
अगर हम राइट हैंड साइड में कहीं और लेते हैं तो हमको जो भी हमारा जिस कॉलम में आ रहा है उस कॉलम से हमें जो हमारा टेबल का कॉलम है उसको माइनस करना है.
बिल्कुल. तो एक सिंपल एग्जांपल है, अगर 2 एक्सेल फाइल में आप VLOOKUP लगा रहे हो, तो हर किसी का कॉलम तो सेम नहीं होगा ना, तो या आपके पेरेंट डॉक्यूमेंट में डेटा ए कॉलम में हो सकता है, आपके चाइल्ड डॉक्यूमेंट में आपका डेटा जो आप है वो एम कॉलम में हो सकता है, पी कॉलम में हो सकता है, कोई दूसरे कॉलम में हो सकता है। तो इसलिए थोड़ा बहुत उसके ऊपर ध्यान में थोड़ा एडजस्ट करना पड़ेगा।
और F4 फंक्शन लॉक, जब हम नीचे कोई भी डाटा कॉपी नहीं कर सकते तो हमें लॉक करना पड़ता है।
नहीं नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है। सी, three things I told you. F4 once, no movement. If you are not going to move your cell towards down or towards right, F4 once. F4 twice. If your data is moving in a row only, then you have to lock that row, and column you have to keep it free by hitting F4 key twice. If your data is moving within a column, then lock your column, make your row free by hitting F4 key thrice.
Okay.
That's what we did in deadlift formula. If you remember, we have gone for deadlift formula. I'm just taking the control back on the screen. The other day, if you look at, we have gone for our deadlift formula. Remember?
Yes.
What we did is equal to deadlift over here. We have gone for taking the date of joining. This data always, when I copy, it has to always move down only. When I copy towards right, it should not move right. C6 should not go to D6. Do you agree?
Correct.
But when I copy this formula towards down, C6 has to go to C7, C8, C9, and so on.
Yes.
So if you see the movement, C6, C7, C8, C9, C10, which one sounds common?
C.
C is common?
C is common.
So what is C?
Column.
So we have understood the data is moving. Data is not stopping with one cell. Data is moving, but it is moving within a column. So when data is moving within a column, we have to lock that column only by hitting F4 key thrice.
Okay.
Comma. Then we have gone for today formula. That is no need to lock, because each and every cell, wherever you go and apply today formula, it will generate today's date only, right?
Correct.
Then comma, we have gone for our Excel operator. When I move this formula, when I copy this formula towards down, D4 should not move down, correct?
Correct.
But when I copy this formula towards right, D4 should move to E4.
E and F, correct, yeah.
Then if I go further right, E4 should move to F4. So if you see the movement, D4, E4, F4, which one sounds common?
D.
D is not common. 4 is common.
4 is common, yeah.
So what is 4?
4 is row.
So data is moving in a row. Data is not stopping. Data is moving, but it's moving in a row only. So we have to lock only the row by hitting F4 key twice.
Okay.
So this is what the setup. F4 once, cell lock. F4 twice, row lock. F4 thrice, column lock. So depending upon the movement of your cells in a range, if you are defining the formula, you have to adjust accordingly. All right, so situation number 2 in the advanced lookup, everybody is clear what we did. Why did you adjust the column number over there? Any doubt, any queries? Great. Now let us go for our situation or scenario number 3. Number 3. Stay focused, very, very important again, friends. See, now I have got the same data, but now I am not looking for name as our first column. I'm looking for department first, then salary, then name, then position for the employee ID 005. So here, if this is the case, then how to deal with? Now, as we know that when you have the data over here and I'm looking for the same is in vertical format, I can go for VLOOKUP, no doubt. But if I'm looking for the column index number, department, which column it is there in this table array? Department is in third. Okay. Salary, which column?
5.
5. Name?
Second.
Position?
4.
So this is what the setup I am looking for my VLOOKUP purpose column index numbers. Do you agree?
Yes.
So first of all, is this an order? 3, 5, 2, 4. Do you believe is it a kind of any kind of order? Is it a chronological order?
No.
So when data is not in order, when your column index number is not in order, so VLOOKUP with column combination is ruled out. This is not going to help me because the data is not in order, correct?
Correct.
So in this case, can I go and do the cut paste work, bringing the name, cut it and paste it in place of department, bringing department, pasting in the salary, cutting it and pasting in the position? Can I do that cut paste work? Just to adjust my column numbers, can I do the cut paste work of the column headers? Can I do that? Do you think that is idle practice? It's time taking, and first of all, we cannot do that, and we are not supposed to do that. See, 3 to 4 columns are there. I can do the cut paste work. I don't mind. Just imagine a real-time situation. You have downloaded a SAP record having 80 columns, 80, and out of that 60 columns data you are looking for. How many times you are doing the cut paste work? While doing the cut paste work yourself, you will be lost somewhere. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
So that's not possible, and that is ruled out again. So if this is the situation, then how to deal with this is again one more very important situation, and every time in our routine activities we come across, my friends. But how to do the same instead of again repeatedly doing the VLOOKUP and column index number keep changing manually, how to get it at once? I will tell you. First of all, VLOOKUP is column is ruled out. And VLOOKUP doesn't have the power to make the column index number dynamic in this number format. So what we'll do now, we are going to add more power to our VLOOKUP formula. So what is that power? Let's go and learn first. Okay. So please do it along with me. Create a data set naming called January and drag it down up to December. Please do that. Jan to December, please create that. Now, the moment we have done with this, kindly stay focused on my screen. In this highlighted block, how many cells are there? 12 cells? Yes. Now, if I ask you, out of these 12 cells, what is the position of May?
5.
How did you come to know? We have started counting Jan as 1, Feb as 2, March as 3, April as 4, May as 5. Then only we can come to know, correct?
Yes.
So this is what we did it manually. Now the same thing, when you expect Excel to do the job for you, what is that we can do? I will take you through. So no need to anything, just look at my screen. Now, if I am going to do the same job in Excel, Excel will be doing just a job. It will be taking the help of a formula naming called match, and it will be asking lookup value is May. Yes. Then it is asking lookup array. Here you need to understand certain things. Lookup array, If you recall your VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP formula, what it was asking after lookup value. In VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP, after lookup value, what was the next input? It was a table array. Do you remember? Table array. Table array. Right. So here it is asking lookup array. There is a difference. When your formula demands table array, it is nothing but the combination of your rows and columns. I repeat, when formula demands table array, it is nothing but the combination of rows and columns. But when formula is demanding lookup array, it can be a complete row or it can be a complete column. It cannot be both. So lookup array, where is the data you have to search? So complete column is having the data. So I have taken Jan to December as my lookup array, comma. What kind of match? As we have been following from VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, what kind of match is exact match? So 0 stands for exact match. Now, the moment we have gone for this, it is going to return me the answer. So same thing, whatever we did it manually, our formula over here, match formula is doing the same job for us. So please give it a try and just check. When you change May to something else, say, I will go for my formula to understand whether September, in which cell it is 9. If I want to go for July, this is it 7. If I go for March, it is going to give me 3. If I go for May, I'm getting the exact cell number, cell location, cell position. So match formula is nothing but it is just taking the cell value as an input and finds out the cell location or cell position as the answer. So just try this. Is it working? Yes, Manoranjan, clear? Rag? This is again one of the most essential formula in our routine activities whenever we design any kind of dashboards, summary reports, tabular reports, templates, we have to use the most. So can I take that? Everybody is clear with our match formula. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Feel free. All right. Now, considering the same that match formula is clear for everyone, let us go back to our situation number 3. So as I told you, we are looking for the column index number in this, that is the 3524. And now we understood that match formula also returns the answer as a number. And we are also looking for only the number as the answer. So can we take the match formula to find out the column index number for us? Let's go and do that. So just 1 minute, watch my screen. I'm doing on behalf of all. I will go for my VLOOKUP formula, lookup value. This is my lookup value. This should not move right, but this should move down. So I'll make it column lock, comma. Table array, where is the data? Table array, I told you, combination of rows and columns. So this is my table array. Do you agree with this? And can I log this? Because I need to copy this formula towards right or towards down, could be the case. So this range should not move down. Do you agree with that? Comma. What is the next thing it is asking? Column index number. So column index number has to be 3, 5, 2, 4 for all these 4 columns. And we cannot use the column formula because the data is not in sequence. But we learned a formula called match. So now the entire focus you give it to match. Forget about this, entire focus you give it to match. Lookup value. So what is our lookup value in this case? Can tell me anyone? What is our lookup value in this case? Sweta is saying G11. See, G11 is our lookup value, but that is already taken for Vlookup. Can you see that? G11 is already taken for Vlookup formula. What we have left with then? We have nothing. Technically, we have nothing, but we have something. What is that? Can we take the department header, and taking the department header, can we match in this array? Taking the department header, can we match in this array? What say? That can be done?
Yes.
So taking this department header, H10, when I go for it, what is the next thing it is asking? Lookup array. As I told you, what is the meaning by lookup array? Either complete column or complete row, cannot be both. So if you look at our table array, where the headers are arranged in the top row, so this is going to be my lookup array. Now in this array, when I go for defining the same, when I copy this formula towards down or towards right, this array should not move down or should not move right, and no movement. So what should be the setup? F4 once, comma. As I told you, match. It ends up with exact match. For that, 0. Now this match formula is going to return me a number. What is the number? Let's discuss. Department. When I look at this array, how many cells are there? In this array, how many cells are there? The green color border area.
3.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total 5 cells are there in this green color border area. And out of that 5 cells, department in which position?
3.
So my match formula will return the answer 3, correct?
Yes.
And if I check the same, is it giving me 3? Yes. And is this the same we are looking for? The moment we started doing the job manually, is it the same number we were looking for? Right? Now match formula will return the answer 3, and that 3 will become my column index number for Vlookup formula. Earlier column was defining the column index number. Now match formula is defining my column index number. Now coming to next, since we are working already with Vlookup, how Vlookup ends up with? Again 0. So bracket close, formula is ready only for a cell. Need to apply for rest. Control enter. The problem is showing error #NA. Sometimes this is also going to be an issue. Your formula would be 100% correct, but answer will be wrong, like #NA. So don't be panic. Don't break your head with your formula. So what you can do, just one time, give a focus to your data portion, data area. So here, what is that focus I need to give it? If you look at your data, like your employee ID 005 in that cell, how many characters are there? It seems in this cell, how many characters are there? It seems
6.
Let's go for the checking the same is equal to len. When I go for this, how many characters it is actually technically it is there?
7.
So what is the meaning by how this extra character comes? What is that might be? Could be extra space. So sometimes this kind of a problem also you are going to face when you download the data from SAP or ERP system, though the data seems similar or alike, but it would be having some kind of extra space over there, and that is going to kill exactly. So now to remove that extra space, we have got a ready-made formula in our Excel naming called trim. So trim is the formula which will help me to remove the unwanted space from my data. So if I go back now to check this cell, whether is it now going to give me the exact number of characters? Yes. So two formulas we learned. One, len, to compute or calculate the number of characters available in a cell. And the other one is the trim formula, which will help me to remove the unwanted spaces from my cell. All right. So now you must be thinking, Prabhas, now it is again the tedious job. I have to clean this entire column by using a separate column called trim, then doing the copy paste special value. And that is really a time killing job. And this is what the practice our experts also do suggest us. But I would say big no for that. What you can do now when you realized, okay, my data is not cleaned, my data is having some unwanted space, then instead of doing this cleaning activity separately, what I would suggest, select your formula, make your formula efficient enough in such a way your formula will clean the data and the clean data will be taken as an input. So if you look at our formula, which data seems to be uncleaned? The lookup value for VLOOKUP, what is that? G11. Now this $G11 entirely, you keep it over there within trim formula. So instead of doing the trimming action separately, we just use the trim formula in the formula itself. So what will be happening? First, trim formula will clean G11. Then that clean data will turn the lookup value for VLOOKUP. Match is already working. We know that. Formula is ready only for a cell. Need to apply for rest. Control Enter. See now, even though the data is uncleaned, we are able to fetch our answer. So this is what the beauty. Whenever you go for designing a formula over there, if your column data is not in sequence and still you want to fetch your answer, you can go for this kind of formulas, naming called over here, VLOOKUP with match, and trim formula can be combined with any formula. Okay, so give it a try, please. Any difficulties in understanding, do let me know.
Chicken. Can I share?
Yeah.
There is a problem.
Yeah.
Here's a problem.
Mhm.
See, VLOOKUP G match 10 H10 department I have selected.
All right.
Then
Lookup array. Lookup array, where to search? You are taking the department, but department cell where you are going to search in your table array first row item. It is A2 to E2.
A2 to E2. Correct?
Yes.
To log this
Yes.
F4 once,
Right.
comma,
Yeah.
0.
Right.
No. There is something wrong.
Nothing wrong. What is wrong? See, your match formula will return the column index number. Then comma, you have to complete your VLOOKUP formula. So comma 0 bracket close.
Again, comma.
Not again comma. See, match is a phrase for column index number. How VLOOKUP ends up with? VLOOKUP always ends up with 0, right?
Yeah.
So match formula is giving me column index number. So after column index number, we used to give a comma, right?
Yes.
So give comma. After match formula, give a comma.
So I have given H10 comma.
Forget about that. Forget about that. I'm talking about the entire match formula is going to give me the column index number. That concept clear?
Clear? Yeah.
So technically, in a VLOOKUP formula, after column index number, what you provide?
Column, comma, na?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling. After match formula, once the bracket close, your match formula is bracket close, then you give comma.
Sorry.
Then VLOOKUP ends up with 0. Bracket close. Control enter if you have already selected. And this is giving error. The reason our employee ID is having the unwanted space. And to remove the same, open the formula, function F2. The $G11 entirely you should retain in trim formula. Type trim, bracket open, after 11, bracket close. Control enter. Done.
Okay. Okay, this is match formula. 0, then comma, and then 0 again. Okay.
Even I'm not able to do it. Like I'm getting it only for one cell department, not for the rest.
Okay, you can apply Control R. Go for application of the same, selecting the same, Control R to fill right. Now is it coming up? Yes.
Can I share my screen?
Yeah, please do that. No problem.
Yeah, is it visible?
Yeah, getting loaded. Yeah, I could see that. Now select all the entire solution area. No, Sweta, starting from H11 till K11, you select completely H11 to K11. Yeah. Now open the formula, F2. Right. Now everything is fine. Formula is ready. Only thing is you have to apply for the entire array. Control Enter.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Earlier you had gone for Enter. That's why it was not applying. So you should have gone for Control Enter.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right. So this is how people, as I told you, these are the daily essential formulas to make our job easy in our routine task, whatever we have been doing. And while creating any kind of dashboards, summary reports, tabular reports, these formulas plays a very big role. So taking the live data, keep practicing about all these things. And any point of time you believe that your formula is not working or you are not getting the right formula over there, you can very well drop me your sample data. I would help you out. Don't worry. But practice well. That is necessary. So we have done with our advanced lookup sheet story. Let's go for the next. So now we are going to, yeah, any questions from anybody?
Yeah, means if the department and the data is not matching, then we have to apply the match formula.
No, it's not about data is not matching. Data column header. Suppose say column header are not in sequence. Suppose in my master data, I am looking for one data from column 1, the other one in column 10, the other one in column 20. So I don't know. I mean, which column data I have to pick up if I go for VLOOKUP. I have to repeatedly keep on doing the changes of column index number, right?
Right.
So in that case, I can match with the column headers. So VLOOKUP with match combination, it is going to give me the data. So I can select anonymously the 100 columns of data, and whichever the column it is matching, that data it is going to fetch over here.
Okay. And whatever ID difference, like column number 6 and number 7 character, if we download totally junk data from where, we have to check first now whether it is character 6 or character 7, or directly after applying formula, if it is getting error, then only we have to use the trim formula.
See, you will never be knowing. There is the moment when you download the data. Did you ever see that your SAP records is throwing any kind of error, or is it showing any kind of information about the health of your report? Are you getting anywhere, any point of time? So you have to do it manually. You have to always check. I told you, when you download the SAP records, data is always uncleaned. Date will not be in date format. Number will not be in number format. This is one problem we have identified. So this is one more problem. Like, you will be having the data, but it will not be matching because of unwanted spaces. But so when you go and check that, when you apply the formula, when you take randomly, some cases are not matching, because always whenever you go for any formula application, you will be always cross check, right? You cannot solely depend upon, or you cannot blindly believe in Excel, correct? Because the data is not static, the data is not consistent type. So there might be a chance of committing mistakes, or errors may happen also. So I have to always go for cross check. And when I come to know about this, now I am certain going forward, if I download this kind of report, I have to always clean my data.
Okay.
So this is what the practice we have to develop. And that is the reason why I'm telling the techniques, whatever I'm telling you, you have to keep implementing the same in your live data.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. So everybody's clear with the previous one, or is it seeming to be complex? Would like to take an opinion.
Little complex.
Okay. So would you mind going for one more exercise with real-time example?
Yes, will help.
Okay. So going to our sheet towards my right side, if you see, there is a sheet called practice 2. There is a sheet called practice 2. Do you see that towards your right side? Practice 2 sheet is there. Well, let me take you through the story of this data. What is that we have, and what is the need of this? What is the ask? See, I have got a revenue report, okay, for last 10 days, with regard to the products, how much revenue we have made, I have got a complete catalog, or you can say a complete report in Excel. It is there. This is my entire report. Okay. Now below to that, in my plant or in my state, whatever the products I have sold, that list is there. And for specific those dates, how much revenue we have made, we need to find out from that entire revenue report. So take a sample data. Product is custard powder. Date is 23rd June. So if you look at the entire table, product is custard powder and 23rd June. What is the status? How much revenue we have made?
2151.
So that should appear over here. Got my point? So likewise, we have to find out the result. So please give it a try. So seeing the questions able to correlate, most of the times we need like that. Do you agree?
Yes.
So you have the perfect example in front of you. Yep. So anybody has got any answer? Or let's give a collective effort. What do you say?
Collective is always better.
Fine. So can somebody help me?
Nobody is confident, I guess.
No problem. See, we are here. That's though it is wrong, forget about it. I'm not doing any kind of assessment. Don't worry. What you have understood from the entire story, how you are going to give your approach, where to start. I want to sense that, nothing else. All right. See, yes, yes.
Equal to Vlookup.
Okay.
People.
Okay.
B12.
B12.
Constant. F4 3 times.
Why? See, constant where it will be needed. When I copy the formula towards right, then I have to look into that column blocking, right? I am looking
Correct.
for a solution only one cell, and when I copy the formula down, then ideally it should go down. Custard powder should move to baking powder only. So B12 by default will go to B13 only. So why I need to lock that? Unnecessary, why I'll increase my formula length by one more byte? Not necessary, right?
Yes.
Right. So B12, that's fine. Yeah, I take it. Right.
comma, and then table array.
Okay, table array. Table array, I have taken this. Okay.
Is F4.
Okay.
Again, constant.
Okay.
Comma, match.
Okay.
Since our date is in the column form here.
Okay.
Comma.
Mm-hmm.
Then C2 till K2.
Okay.
Again, constant, comma,
Okay.
0.
Okay.
Close bracket, comma,
Okay.
0.
Okay.
This is what I applied, but again, I'm not getting it.
See, answer is supposed to be 2151, but I'm getting 4168.
Correct.
So it cannot be, right?
Yes, yes.
So where is the thing lacking? See, we are almost close. Instead of 2151, we are getting 4168. So there is only difference of a column. Can you imagine that?
Column. Yes.
Yeah, I have to select from B.
Absolutely. So instead of C2 over here, I should have selected from B2. Why? Because I am working within Vlookup formula and Vlookup starts from B column. So I cannot start my match formula from C column. I have to start from B column only. Correct? So
yes.
That's it. Formula is ready. And the moment you go for application of the same for the rest, you got your formula. Correct? Interesting. So now somewhat little bit the complexity meter, it is going down.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. So please give it a try, all of you, whatever we have done. So if anything is not clear, feel free to ask. Again, I don't mind repeating because this is very, very important thing. C2, why it did not work? Sweta is asking the question. That is what I explained. Anybody can explain that? Sweta is having a question. Why we cannot use C2? Why C2 did not work?
Because table array starts from product B.
Right. So when we took the VLOOKUP formula, Sweta, we started with table array. You can see from B2 to, you can see B2 to K9. So when you go for column index number, the reason of using match formula, what is the reason? To find the column index number. And column index number, when you go for it, do you eliminate product column? Do you start counting from 15th June? Never. You should start count from the product only. So that is the reason why the moment you took the match formula, when you took C2, though the date starts from C column, but your data starts from B column. That's why we have taken B2 to K2 instead of C2. All right. Right. So is this enough or would you mind trying one more? Choice is yours. I mean, All right. So this is there for you. You can take it as a homework and you can try also. So here there is a catalog price. Take an example. I am working in a consulting firm where they have the multi-cities presence and they are into different consulting services like this. And city-wise, the consulting service per hour is different. Now, this is the catalog price for the entire country I have got over here. Now, my boss is asking if this is the consulting service in this city, what is the price? Please get me. So if you talk about IT over here in NCR, what is the price? 4,000. It should appear. So whenever the drop down is changing, based on that, accordingly, the price also supposed to be changed. Okay, you can try this. So 5 minutes time you have, Max, please get it. Okay, we know that's done. Great, very good. Yes, can anybody help me?
Is equal to Vlookup.
Okay.
C3, comma, table array means B9 to complete E14,
Okay,
comma, here I feel constant is not required because we are not going to change this.
very good.
Match,
Mm-hmm.
bracket, C4,
Mm-hmm.
which is location,
Mm-hmm.
comma, then again, lookup array
Mm.
B9 to E9,
Very good.
comma, 0 close bracket,
Yep,
and then comma, 0 close bracket.
done. So what is the problem?
If error,
No, but I got the answer
Mm-hmm.
when I applied.
Mm-hmm. Can you see here? This is not 0. It is O. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Right. Okay, I deliberately do that. Anyway, so
Okay.
you got the hang on this. So taking the live data, keep practicing. And as I told you, this is going to help you a lot in many more states. So we look up with match combination. It makes a very powerful formula and getting the things more dynamic in the case. All right. So this is what. Now come to our nested if. The sheet name is called nested if. So we are going to discuss the logical formulas of our Excel. So how to deal with the same, we'll be having a glimpse of that. First of all, we have got a score. You can see we have got a score. Okay. And this score, we need to check if the person scores more than 50, results should be pass, else fail. So what we do, we go for a basic if formula in this case. And what's the formula? Is equal to if taking this score, if it is more than 0, comma, if this is true, value if true, then result should be pass. Pass is our own text, so we must define within two double inverted quotes, comma. What is the next one? If false. So if the person is not pass, what is the ultimate answer? Fail. Fail is our own text. We can define like this again. So a simple if formula is going to give me the answer. Now, when I go and change my score, something 65, say more than 50, result is pass. If I go for 35, which is less than 50, result is what is saying over here. I have gone for more than 0. So ideally it should be more than 50 and result is fail over here. Now, what if I go and define 50 as the answer? This is also giving me fail. Why? Because our formula, we have given the formula as more than 50. So here precisely, we have to go back and define the answer more than or greater than equal to 50. So if the person scores 50 or more than 50, result will be pass. This is how precisely we can give the answer. But remember one thing, this is what the sequence you have to provide. First, the greater than symbol, then the equal to symbol. You cannot define the reverse order. You cannot define the equal to symbol first, then greater than symbol. That is not going to fetch a proper condition or criteria over there in the logical formula. So this is how we have got the result. So basic if formula, this is what we do. Do you agree with this? Are you clear with this?
Yeah.
Right. Any questions? Anybody?
If you please repeat once.
Yeah, you go for is equal to if over here as per the question. If the person scores more than equal to 50. Why we have gone for more than equal to? Even though the person scores 50, the result has to be shown as pass logically. So for that reason, comma, then value if true. So value if true is nothing but pass. Pass is my own text. So I can go for within two double inverted comma, pass over here, comma. Now what is the next one? Value if false. If the person is not pass, what is the ultimate answer? Fail. So within two double inverted comma, we'll go for fail. And that's what we have done over here. All right, everybody is clear what we did? Now, I'm going to take you through something, so please stay focused on my screen. While designing the logical formulas of Excel, mostly we use the following operators like this. If it is there, what do you call this? We call it as less than or smaller than. If it is there like this, we call it as greater than or more than.
More than.
If you have something like this, we go and call it as less than, equal, less than or equal to. See, these small conjunctions plays a very important role. You need to understand less than or equal to. Okay. Now, similarly, the moment we go for the other one, we go for this one, we call it as greater than or equal to, right?
Yeah.
What is there if it is need to checked as not equal to? If it is there something called not equal to, how to check that? Sometimes this is also needed. This is called not equal to symbol. Less than and greater than both put together, that makes your expression of not equal to. If you want to check something called equal to, that you know very well. Okay, what is that? We go for equal to. What if I want to check something called equal to blank? So I have to go for equal to blank, two double inverted quotes. All right, so these are the mostly the expressions we use or operators we use to make the condition specific over there. All right, clear? Any questions in any of the operators, whatever I used over here? I'm pasting in the chat box also. You can copy paste. So later you can refer that even, not an issue. All right. Now, let us go for our question number 2. Say, we have got 2 new joinees in my department, naming A and B. As per the instruction of my boss, I have conducted a test. A has scored 50, B has scored 90. Now, looking at the scores of both these persons, my boss is passing a statement. What is the statement he has passed? A has scored more than B. So score of A is greater than score of B. My boss is passing a statement like this. But if you check whether score of A, is it more than score of B?
No.
So simply, I can say immediately to my boss, sir, whatever the statement you are passing, it's a wrong statement. But if I say in front of his face, it will hurt his ego. I don't want to take that risk. I just want Excel to declare whether the statement status is true or false. So if that is the case, whenever you happen to check a statement status, how to check it out? Again, in this case, our experts, they will suggest you go for if formula, score of A greater than score of B, comma. If this is true, then the statement status is true. True is my own text. I have to define like this. We know that very well. If the statement status is not true, value if false, what is the ultimate answer? Statement is false. So this is how a simple if formula, again, it is going to help me getting the answer, right? Hope it is clear. Same basic if formula. Any difficulty in understanding?
No.
So are you happy with the solution, whatever we designed? I'm just taking as a user, I explained the formula, I got the answer also, but now I'm taking your opinion. Are you happy with the solution?
B greater than C. True, false.
Is there anything wrong in this?
Can we bring yes or no?
Yeah, you can bring yes or no, but as per the question, whatever the solution we have designed, got the answer. Are you happy with that? That is my question over here. Okay, solution is ready. There is nothing wrong in getting the solution, but why I'm putting more emphasis? Are you happy? Are you happy or not? If you remember,
Can do better.
yeah, why we need to do better? Any idea? Why in this particular case, I just stopped and I asked you to make some improvements in this?
This is common. True or false?
Not exactly.
Common.
Not exactly. Not exactly. I'll remind you again. See, the moment we started our training program in the day 1 itself, I told you the first and foremost challenge in our routine activities is about file size, right? And if you remember our first sheet example itself, the business maths, I told you The more the if formula, file size will be more. Did you remember?
Correct.
Yeah.
So this is the reason why it's not necessary or mandatory that each and every solution you have to do along with if for the logical calculations. See, the same thing can be done with a simple operator equal to score of A more than or greater than score of B. A simple operator will be acting like a if formula. Just see. Now you tell me option 1 is better or option 2 is better. As an audience, which one you will be preferring the most?
Option 2.
Anybody's choice, that is, isn't it? So this is the reason why I would always suggest or recommend, wherever it is possible, try to keep your formula length minimum level so that the file size will not be heavy. Hope this is clear. Question 2's answer, what we did. Any questions?
Can this formula apply for pass and fail? Which one, second one formula what you have applied, greater than or less than?
No, pass and fail is our own text. See how this operator is going to give me true false, because when the condition is satisfied, it's true. If the condition is not satisfied, it is false. That is the default answer. And since the default answer is matching with our requirement, I could go for a simple operator. Okay, but here pass and fail is, it's a need-based output, like user-specific demand on this case. That's why I have to go for if. I cannot go for a simple operator like this. As I told you, very simple example. See, mostly when you have the data, take an example. Over here, I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, and in this column also 1, 2, 3, 4 is there. How do you check whether both the columns value is same or it is different? We go for a simple formula, equal to this column, equal to this. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, true.
So we got the answer. How you go for true?
Yes.
Without using if formula, because this is the default answer. The moment your condition is matched, it is true. If the condition is not matched, it's false. That's why we are getting the answer.
Okay.
All right. Now, coming to the next. So here we are going to deal with nested if. So we have a data over here, you can see. Now we need to check the score. If the person scores less than 25, result should be fail. If the person scores more than 25 but less than 50, grade should be C. If the person scores more than 50 but less than 75, grade should be B. If the person scores more than 75, grade should be A. So this is the kind of slab we have got for our scoring, and based on that, we need to find the result. So if you look at the score 79, ideally, what should be the result? What should be the grade?
A grade.
So that should be our answer. Okay, so you know how to write your if formula. So please give it a try, taking 2 minutes of time and get the answer, please.
Equal to if and less than 25.
Parag, did you remember you showed me that incentive calculation?
Yes, yes,
The same thing.
yes.
So any answers, people? Where is the challenge? Can anybody identify that? Yeah, Parag is not happening. Okay, fine. I just asked a simple question. Where is the challenge? Yes, anybody? Sweta, Manoranjan, Avinash. See, we know how to write our if formula, right? That is clear. How to write a simple if formula. Hope everybody has understood.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Now, if this kind of situation comes, why we are struggling? I will tell you the first reason. The reason why we are struggling is we are thinking all the conditions to put it across in one place without following the logic. So, how to start with? There we are going to discuss first. See, think like a layman. I'm not going to take you through some kind of extraordinary Excel wizard thoughts. Think like a layman. How many conditions are there? In-
1, 2, 3, 3 conditions.
Please check.
25 fell, C grade, B grade, D grade, 4
Total 4 conditions,
four
right?
condition.
So as such, we know to write a condition, we have to depend upon a if formula. So 4 condition, 4 if formulas are required. As such, being a layman, if I think, I can think like that. But I have to write 4 if conditions if I am writing the condition in 4 different Excel cells. But here our requirement is all these 4 conditions are to be designed in one cell. Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
So in that case, what you need to do first is make a total count of the condition, then -1. So total condition -1. So total condition 4 minus 1. So total 3 if formulas you have to write. You must write 3 if formulas. That is clear. But how to write all these 3 if formulas in one cell? You need to follow a logic of your order. What is the order? Like ascending or descending order. What is the meaning by ascending or descending order? You can start from fail condition, you can end up with grade A, or you can start from grade A and end up with fail, but there should be a proper logical flow of your condition. So let's start from fail. So fail purpose, what's the condition? Look at my screen, no need to do anything, understand first. Equal to if, read the formula, logical test, this is the score. If it is less than 25, if yes, value if true, result should be fail. Do you agree up to this level?
Yes.
Now read the formula, what it demands me.
Value if false.
So if the person is not fail, what is the ultimate answer?
Pass.
But our problem starts there. If the person pass, then which category it is going to fall, which bucket of grading system it is going to fall, that we have to identify. Do you agree?
Correct.
So if the person is not fail as per the rhythm, as per the logical flow, the next level check, what is that? Is it going to fall in grade C after fail? What is the next level check? Grade C, correct?
Correct.
For grade C purpose, what is the condition? Should be more than 25, but less than 50. Do you agree? Should be more than 25, but less than 50. If this is true, then only grade C, correct?
Correct.
So for that reason, we will start one more if formula. There itself, we'll start one more if formula. Taking the score, here people commits a mistake. They go for immediately more than or greater than 25. No, as I told you, you should follow the logical flow. Like when you have taken less than 25, similarly, you should take less than 50. So that makes your condition more specific. More than 25, but less than 50, the condition, comma. If this is true, what should be the grade? Grade C. So grade C is our own output, and that we must define within two double inverted quotes. Up to this clear?
Yeah.
Comma. What is the next one? It is asking. Formula. Value if false. If the person is not falling in grade C, what is the next level check? What is the next possible condition? Grade B. So grade B purpose, what should be the check? More than 50, but less than 75. Start. One more if, taking the score less than 75. If this is true, value if true, it should be grade B. Do you agree? Right? Comma. Now look at my screen, please. See, if the person is not fail, he is not falling in the category of grade C, he is neither falling in the category of grade B. If none of these conditions are true, what is the ultimate answer? If none of these conditions are true, what is the ultimate answer? Grade A. So grade A is my own output. I must define within two double inverted quotes. Now just make a count. As we discussed, how many if formulas we have written? 1, 2, 3. So is it matching the logic what we started with? So total number of condition minus 1 if formulas. But all the conditions are open. So ideally, how many conditions are open? 3 if formulas are open. So how many close brackets you have to define? 3 close brackets you have to define, right? Now the moment you hit enter, you got your answer. So this is how, whenever you have got multiple condition based answer, like in the kind of assessment template or any kind of matrix you are designing, there you can go for this kind of ready-made formula and you will be getting an answer. So let's give it a try. Any difficulties, do let me know. right? So hope everybody is clear with that. Whatever we did, you can check the score also. You can see respective grading system will be showing on the result. Or if you have any questions running in your mind, you can ask me. Yes, Avinash, that's what I told you in the day one itself. Practice is very, very essential because in training, everything seems to be like a fairy tale. So you have to practice hard. Taking the live data, you have to keep practicing. That is essential. All right.
It is telling us of a maths class.
Yeah, the formulas are definitely,
Yeah.
it's a math class, but in Excel, it's very easy because the logics, everything it is stated over here. Your formula is giving a helping hand how to write the formulas. That's pretty easy. Only thing is we need to follow the instructions. That's it. All right. So now the question, what I'm going to ask is over here, are you happy with the solution again? Now you should answer because I told you in the previous case, such a lengthy formula when I'm going to write
Formula, time consuming, maybe
space.
some better way.
Yeah, space is also going to be occupying more in
Yeah.
our Excel file.
Yeah.
Right. So in this case, now, if you ask me, Prabhas, is there any other alternative option? At least we can reduce our space of the file, or I can reduce the formula length up to a certain extent. Is there any scope? Yes, we do have. I will tell you. In my Excel, usually I have a formula called IPS. Is it there with you? It will be available only in 2019, 2021, Office 365, and your Office 2016, but to in your business edition, not with the student or home edition, you will be finding the same. So are you getting IPS formula in your case? IFS, IPS. Right. So those who are having IPS formula in their Excel, they can make use of that. I'll tell you how. See, I will go for IPS formula over here. Parag, you are in 2013. It is not there in 2013. So you have to upgrade your system, Parag. Okay. So you can have a look when you get a chance to upgrade, you can make use of that even. So I'll take the score again over here, less than 25. I will go for directly over here, fail. All right. Now, what is that it is asking? Logical test. If you remember if formula, it was asking value if false. But here, no more false. It is directly asking for the next logical test. So next logical test is what? Taking the data, again, less than 50. If this is true, grade C. And again, this is asking over here for me, logical test 3. So taking the score, I will go for less than 75 over here. And again, this is true, so grade B, comma. Now what is it asking? Logical test code. So here you have to precisely give your answer. How? If none of these conditions are true, then taking the score more than and equal to 75 you have to define, because if the score is 75, then definitely if this is true, the grade should be A. One bracket only close. So instead of writing if formula multiple times, we can write a simple ifs formula and define the logic, and the same answer I'm going to receive also. So this is what you can use also as a replacement for the same. So somewhat the file size will be reduced and the formula will be acting faster. Ifs formula. So now you tell me, option 1 seems to be better or option 2 in understanding?
No.
Definitely, that is anybody's choice. All right. So how to write our nested if formulas we have understood in this. Now we are going to discuss another two logical formulas of our Excel, naming called and or. This will be very rarely used, but yes, this is also going to play a role. So let's go and discuss about these things. And an or formula comes into picture when you have to check more than one conditions over there in Excel. So whenever you check more than one conditions, if all the conditions are true, then only the answer will be true in case of and formula. I repeat, whenever you check multiple conditions, if all the conditions answers is true, then only the answer will be true in case of and formula. But in case of or, what will be happening? Whenever you check multiple conditions, if any condition is true, then ultimate answer will be true. So this will be more clear when you go for a small example. Let's go for that. Start. Equal to and. Do it along with me, please. Equal to and. Open the bracket. Then let's go and take the example from our second case. Score of A is 50. That we are going to check. Is it more than 30? Just type as it is. We'll check that later. Don't worry. Just type as it is. Taking score of A greater than symbol 30, comma. Logical 2. Second question. What we need to check? Score of B less than 60. That also we are going to check. Just type as it is. Bracket close and hold on. Score of A, is it more than 30? Check it out, please. What is your answer? Score of A, is it more than 30? Newspaper?
Yes.
Score of A, 50, is it more than 30? Yes. So technically, answer is true. Score of B, is it less than 60?
Yes.
Check, check. Score of B, is it less than 60? 90, whether it is less than 60?
No.
So answer is false. So technically one answer is true, one answer is false, and we are operating with and. And I told you and purpose, all the conditions are to be satisfied. Since one condition is not satisfied, what would be the answer? False, right? So this is what basically our true, and formula. So whenever you check multiple conditions, if all the conditions are satisfied, then only the answer will be true. Okay. Hope this is clear. And formula. Any doubt, any queries in and formula? Similarly, let's go for the next or formula. Same logic, you put it across, but in place of and, you go for or and check. Score of A, is it greater than 30? Yes. So technically answer is true. Now Excel is not going to bother about checking the rest of conditions because the first condition itself, it is satisfied. So ultimate answer is true. So now the moment I go and hit enter, you can see the result. It will be giving me the answer as true. So what we have understood, whenever you go and check multiple condition, in case of or, what will be happening? It will give the answer as true if any condition is satisfied. Hope this is clear, people. Any doubt, any queries in logical formulas? Okay. So kindly save all your workbook. And as I told you, taking the different live examples, please go and practice all these nested formulas. And definitely this is going to help you a lot. If you miss something or if you're unable to find out or if you're unable to make a nested formula, please drop me your sample data. I would help you out. Don't worry about it. Okay. So kindly save all your workbook. With this, we'll go for a short break of 10 minutes. Okay. In my system, it is 4:17. I consider 4:20, giving 3 minutes of grace. Dot 4:30, again, we are going to meet. So we are going to resume our session. So have a brisk, please come back soon. We'll discuss the rest. So I'll be in mute. I'll be back soon. So I believe everybody's back. Could you please respond in the chat box? Why for yes? All right. So we have done with our nested formulas, nested and logical formulas on if and nested if, how to use it. Now we are going to discuss the next is the sheet name called sum and count. So we are going to discuss some aggregate functions or the functions which will be helping me while designing the dashboards and all how to use the same. So we have got a data set like date of training, name of the employee, division they belong to, and the salary they draw, and what is the training expenses incurred over them, that is also there. So taking all these 5 columns into reference over here, we need to answer all these 6 questions. Okay, so let's start from the first one. What it says, count occurrence of division HFD. So in division column, how many times HFD division is there, that we have to count and we have to state the answer. So basically, if you look at, we have to do the criteria based counting over here. And when you do criteria based counting over there, you have a formula called count if. And what it demands me, the range. Where is the range? Which column you have to deal with? The division column. So I select my division column. All right. Now, the moment when I go for over here, what's the next one? Is the criteria. So criteria is my HFD. How to write that? There are 2 ways. You can select either one cell from the division column having HFD, or you can go for within 2 double inverted quotes HFD. Whichever it is comfortable for you, you can go for that. Now bracket close, formula is ready, hit enter, you got the answer. So there are 28 cases over here, and this is called again criteria based counting any point of time. So please give it a try and confirm, have you got 28 as the answer? Right. Now coming to next, count salary less than 1,50,000 US dollar. So in salary column, you have to find out the cases, the number of cases where salary is less than $1,50,000. So we have to do again criteria based counting over here. So going for count if, taking the range, your salary, yes. Then what is the next thing it is asking? Criteria. What's my criteria? Less than 1,50,000. So here you need to understand one concept is whenever you have the criteria over there in this kind of formulas along with the operator like less than, more than, less than, equal to, more than, equal to, just 10 minutes back we heard all these things and studied also. If you have to combine all these things in these formulas, then you must define within 2 double inverted quotes like this. So less than 1,50,000, you have to define within 2 double inverted quotes. This is not we are defining. This is what predefined by Microsoft Excel. Only thing is we are following the instructions. And the moment I hit enter, I got the answer over here, 51 cases. So this is again our criteria based counting, how to do, we have got the answer. All right, so question number 2, everybody has got the same answer. Now, coming to the next, sum salary for division RAD. So in division column, wherever RAD is there, corresponding salary, we have to make a total. So basically we need to do the criteria based sum. So we have a ready-made formula called sum if, and what it demands me is the range. So which range you have the criteria in the division column. Now, what is the criteria? RAD. So I can take a cell which contains my RAD division. Yes. Now coming to sum range, comma, sum range. So which range you will be applying the sum formula in the salary column? And now the moment I hit enter, I got the answer 90,64,787. So this is called your criteria based sum over here, naming called sum if.
Because one more time, this one.
Yeah.
Division.
Equal to sum if. The reason of going sum if, because based on the RAD division salary, we have to make a total. So range it is asking. So range is nothing but in which range, in which column you have your RAD division in the division column.
Yeah.
Then it is asking criteria. So criteria is RAD. So within two double inverted code RAD you can type, or you can take a cell reference which is containing RAD over there in the division column. Anything. Okay.
Yeah.
Sum range. Which range you will be applying the sum formula in the salary column?
Yeah.
And that's what we got the result.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. So first three questions answer. Hope everything is clear for everybody. How to use COUNTIF, how to use SUMIF. Now let's go for question number 4. Some salary above 2 lakh US dollar. So in salary column, wherever it is more than 2 lakhs, those cases only you have to make a total. You have to add them. So again, criteria based sum to be done. So we have a ready-made formula. We know SUMIF. What is the range? So range is in salary only. This is the area where we have to search all these records. Yeah. Now, the moment I go for this, what is the next thing it is asking? Criteria. What's my criteria? Above 2 lakhs. I told you already, wherever you have operator mix criteria are there, you must write within two double inverted quotes. Okay. Then, as per the demand of the formula, it is asking for some range to define. So some range, which range you will be applying the sum formula? In the salary only. But that is unwanted. We don't need to go and extend our formula length by giving the salary range one more time, because our range and salary range, since it is the same, we can complete our formula with criteria itself. So this is one more technique. Again, you can remember and follow over there so that you can keep your formula length with the minimum level. And now the moment we go for this, again, criteria based sum. Hope this is clear, the concept, why we did not take our sum range one more time, though formula was demanding.
Yeah.
Right. So any challenges so far? Anybody? Yes, Vaibhav, what's the status? Are you following? Shweta?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Manoranjan? Okay. Now, question number 5, some salary more than 50,000 US dollar, but less than 1,50,000 US dollar. So what we need to do, stay focused, very, very important. See, we have to deal with the salary column, that is for sure. And we have to check wherever it is more than 50,000, but less than 1,50,000, those cases alone, we have to make a sum of that. So basically here we have to do a criteria based sum. But here the criteria numbers are more than one. So multiple criteria based sum to be done. And whenever you happen to do multiple criteria based sum if is not going to help us. We have to go for sum ifs. What is that? IFS, plural, sum ifs. It is very powerful formula, but bit of peculiarity which you need to understand. So please stay focused for 1 minute. What I'm doing, understand. Next 1 minute, I'll be giving time for you to try on your respective screens. So please stay focused. See, when I go for the formula, what it demands me, some range. Now you tell me in which range I'll be applying the sum.
Salary.
Salary. So I have gone for salary over here, defined. Okay. Now what's the next one? Criteria range 1. So what is the criteria range 1 over here?
It's more than 50,000.
Okay. So if more than 50,000 is your criteria range 1 over there, then what is the next one it is asking after a criteria range 1? What is the next one formula is demanding? What is the next one?
Criteria 1.
So what I'm supposed to define there? So this is the catch. I told you this is a bit peculiar formula, so we need to understand. So what it is asking, criteria range 1. So when it is demanding criteria range 1, it is a message for us. As per the question, whatever the first criteria, as per the question, whatever the first criteria, where you are going to search. This more than 50,000, where we are going to search?
Salary.
Again, salary, right?
Yeah.
So this is our criteria range 1. So salary is again criteria range 1. So hope now you are clear. What is that peculiarity? Why we have to define criteria range 1?
2 times you have to do it.
No, don't be in the impression of 2 times. It is the demand. Since
Yeah,
our
this is
since our requirement is lying in the same column, that is why it is seeming as if 2
slightly
times.
Okay.
Right. So you have to understand as per the need, like based on the criteria. My criteria is more than 50,000. Where to search? In the salary. That's why we have gone for it. Now it is asking criteria 1. What is my first criteria? More than 50,000. So I told you within 2 double inverted quotes, more than 50,000. We have to define. Now, comma. What is the next one? It is asking.
Criteria range 2.
So now you tell me what is my criteria range 2 supposed to be?
Salary only, no?
Simple, because second criteria also less than 1,50,000. Where to search? In the salary. So once I go for this, comma, over here, now this is demanding me criteria 2. So what is my second criteria? Less than 1,50,000. So within 2 double inverted quotes, less than 1,50,000. And now the job is ready. And over here, answer also ready. So this is how, whenever multiple criteria based sum to be done, you can go for a formula called sum ifs. So please give it a try and confirm you are clear with this. Any doubt, any query, please ask me. All right. So I believe everybody's done. I got a confirmation from Abhinash, Vinod, and Sweta. How about the others? If you have any queries, you please ask me because these are the formulas. Again, as I told you, for dashboard purpose, summary reports, we need the most. And technically, to remind you, these are the formulas are really working in the back end of your pivot table. That's why the moment you interchange the fields, how you get all the aggregation of the data because of all these formulas. Coming to the next, find the total training expenses incurred between 1st August 2019 and 31st Jan 2020. So basically over here, again, multiple criteria based sum to be done. So we can go for a simple formula, sum ifs, sum range. So now you tell me which range I will be applying the sum formula.
Expense.
Training expenses. So I have gone for that. Okay, very good. Next, what is the next one is asking after some range? Criteria range 1. So you tell me as per the question, reading the same, what would be my criteria range 1?
Expense incurred between 1st August.
No.
Date of training.
Date.
Date of training.
Date of training. So
Date.
since whatever the
Date of
training
training.
happened 1st August 2019 and 31st. So between these two dates, so I have to go for date column blindly. And that would be my criteria range 1. Now it is asking criteria 1. So here there is a catch. When date related criteria you have to define, then you have to always follow your system format. Like your system, what is the date over here? It is there in the data set. That format you have to follow, like DDMMYY or MMDDYY, whatever it is showing on your screen. That format you have to follow. And secondly, whatever your system separator, if your system's date separator is of hyphen, you should take hyphen. If your system date separator is of slash, you should take slash. This is how you have to take it. But the requirement is over here, whatever the training happened between these two dates. So first I have to take the start input. So the training, whatever happened on 1st August, I have to take and above than that. So I have to include both. On 1st August training also I have to take, and after 1st August also I have to include. Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
So we should go for within two double inverted quotes more than equal to 0, 1 over here. 01 over here. As I told you, the date, whatever the format, DDMMYY, separator of my system. I will take over here hyphen 2019. Then what is the next thing is asking? Criteria range 2. So what is my second criteria? Whatever the training happened on 31st and before that I have to take, but where to check? Again in the date. Do you agree? My criteria range 2 is supposed to be the same date range only. Now, coming to the criteria 2, less than equal to 31st Jan 2020, the separator of my system I should take. And when I go and hit enter, I'll be getting the answer over here. Again, multiple criteria based sum. When you have to do, you can go for a simple formula like this. So please give it a try and confirm you are getting the answer of 84,284.
Please repeat once.
See, the requirement is between these two dates, 1st August 2019 and 31st Jan, whatever the training happened in between these two dates, we have to make a total, that expenses. So training expenses, we have to make a total. So for that reason, we have gone for a sum ifs formula. It is asking sum range. So training expenses column, we have to make a total.
Okay.
Then we have to go for criteria range 1. So as per the question, 1st August 29 and above than that, whatever the training happened, we have to take. That is my criteria. But where to search? So when I'm taking the date as a criteria, I have to search in the date column only. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So I have gone for over here. Right? Now it is asking criteria 1. So as per the question, what is the first criteria? Whatever the training happened 1st August 2019, I have to take, and above than that means after 1st August also, whatever the training happened, I have to take, not before 1st August. Do you agree?
Yes.
So when you have a date as a criteria, as I told you, you have to always follow a rule. What is that? In your data, whatever the date format is there, DDMMYY or MMDDYY, whatever it is being displayed, with the same pattern you need to maintain. But your separators of the date has to be your system separators. If your system separator is hyphen, you should use hyphen. If your system separator is your slash, you must use slash. So that is what one thing you have to always keep in mind. So here, the moment I go for this more than equal to 01 hyphen August hyphen 2019, I have to take it, comma, criteria range 2. So whatever the training happened on 31st Jan and before that, only I have to take, but where to check? Again, the criteria date. So I have to take the date only, same A4 to A94, correct?
Correct.
So I'll just copy this. Instead of selecting this, I'll copy this, Control C, and here I can paste it, not an issue. Then comma, criteria 2. So as per the question, what is the first criteria that we have taken? Second criteria, within 2 double inverted quotes, less than equal to 31st Jan 2020.
Column. Okay.
And the moment you hit enter, you got the answer.
Okay. Let me try.
Yep.
One. Training beta, total training. Range criteria. This date.
Hope this is working. So anybody is facing any challenge, you can ask me, need my support, you can share your screen, not an issue, if you're not getting the answer of 84,000 to 84.
Can I share my screen?
Yeah, no problem.
Jan 2020.
Mhm.
0.
Right. So, guys, can somebody help Mr. Parag from our group? Anybody voluntarily?
Double inverted comma after
Expected comma.
2019.
No, Parag, you did not give it properly.
Just
When criteria is started with double inverted comma, it has to end up with also double inverted comma, then comma. Similarly, for second criteria also, 2020, then right. Got it?
yeah.
Got it. Fine then. So I'm taking the control back on the screen over here. So kindly save all your workbooks, people. So we are done with our corporate case studies. So let us go for our sample case studies folder, and the file name is called charts and graphs. So chart text, one file is there. Kindly open this.
Charts. Charts text.
So when you open the file, you will be landing up with the cover page. Click on the next button. You will be finding a quick chart sheet is ready. So now let me take you through the data, whatever we have. Now suppose say these are the products I'm selling to my customers. Based on that, my boss is asking a simple report. Pravas, I want to see a simple report based on the products, the revenue. So product wise, whatever the total revenue we have made, I want to see a report. So what I did, whatever the Excel files I have created month wise, product wise for the whole year, I have opened, and this is the final summary. I have made it. All right. Now, when I'm presenting the same to my boss is saying, Pravas, why don't you plot this data in the format of a graphical presentation? So to prepare a chart instantly out of this data, Control A, keeping the cursor anywhere in the data, Control A, and on your keyboard, press Alt F1. So those who don't have the F1 is the direct key, go for function Alt F1. So Alt F1 is the quick keyboard shortcut. You will be finding immediately a chart is ready. All of you are getting the chart. Please confirm with function Alt F1 or Alt F1, depends upon the keyboard of yours or the brand of the laptop you are using. Well, Swatha, what is the problem? When you go for Alt F1, what is happening?
I'm getting the help page.
Okay,
Right side.
so go for function Alt F1. Fn key in the bottom, then Alt F1. 3 all together, you press function Alt F1. Are you getting the charts now?
Yes.
Right. Shweta, what's your status?
No, I'm not getting.
Okay, can you please share your screen? Right, close this.
Can you see my
Now, first of all, go for enable editing. That yellow bar you have to first select. Yes,
I would say
that's the major issue. Now selecting the data, go for data selection first. Now check, is it working?
It's not. Yes, it came. Thank you.
Yeah. So once it is done over here, please stay focused on my screen. This is what I have prepared and plotted, but my boss is not happy. Why? He's telling Pravas the chart is
So
not,
Prabhat,
yeah,
Yes, screen not visible.
yeah. Thanks for reminding me. Right. Now this is what I have prepared over here, and I am giving the feel of a chart immediately, instantly to my boss, but my boss is not happy. And what is saying that was this chart is not so great. Reason, it is appearing in the same location where is the data. And besides that, what is happening, the chart is not bigger in size, it's not neat and clean, it's not presentable. So why don't you do something with this so that you can prepare a chart in such a way when I'm presenting to the people, it should be giving a bigger look, and there should not be any data. People focus should be there only with regard to chart, and it should be neat and clean, it should be presentable, so people should see and say, wow, what a beautiful chart. So if such kind of sophisticated demand it is coming up from the other side, from my boss, how to present it effectively instantly over there, I'll tell you. Select your data again, and on your keyboard now you press only F11, the key alone, F11. If it is not a direct key, go with function with F11 for those people who are not a direct key of F11, and see the beauty. What happens? An exclusive chart sheet is going to turn up in your Excel file over here. Chart is bigger in size, neat and clean, presentable, and no data. The entire audience focus will be only with regard to the chart. Are you getting the same? So there are two keyboard shortcuts we learned: Alt F1 to plot the graph in the same worksheet, F11 to have a separate and exclusive worksheet with regard to the chart. Kindly come back to the quick chart sheet and let us see how to make some improvements in this quick chart. Let's go for that. First of all, whenever you plot a chart in Excel, go to your chart design in the top, chart design. Okay. There are many more styles you will be getting. Go for more style and choose the last one. This is the first thing you should do. Always, whenever you go for a chart, choose the last style. Yeah, we choose them. Now you can ask me a question, Prabhas, why specifically you are asking us to go for the last one? Reason I'll tell you. Compared to the last version, whatever the chart we had, if you go for this option, it will be giving some kind of glossy impact, some kind of embossing effect, or some kind of shadow impact, or in one line, you can say some kind of 3D impact. You can get it over here. Now, can you see now over here compared to the previous version? Now it is somewhat looking great, better.
Chart design, where from you got, Prabhat?
Selecting the chart, once you select your chart, that button will be automatically activated in the top.
Okay, got it here.
Yeah. From there, chart styles, more style, take the last one.
Yeah, looking nice.
Yes, this is the first thing you should do. Now the next one, if you look at your chart on your screen or on my screen as well, it is having some unwanted grid lines. This is not making my presentation so good. It is really create a mess over here. Then how to remove the same, how to make it clean, I'll tell you. See, in the chart, when you select towards your right side, there is a plus symbol. Can you see? There is a plus symbol over here. So this plus symbol, when you click, immediately a dialog box appears where an option called grid lines checkbox is activated. You got to deactivate that. And again, go for plus symbol to deactivate. Can you see now? Background is now completely clean look is giving.
Yeah.
So these are the two minimum data formatting you must do whenever you prepare a chart. Done. Next what? Now, when I presented my data in this format, looking at the data, My boss is saying, Prabhas, this chart, all these products you are providing in an identical color doesn't look so good. Why don't you make some colorful changes over here so that based on the colors, we can differentiate our products properly. So basically in one line, boss is not happy with one color. He is expecting the multicolor to be presented or plotted over here. So how to do it? Let's see. Keeping your mouse pointer in any of the column inside the chart area, right click on the same. Taking your mouse pointer to any of the column inside the chart area, right click on the same. You will be getting a menu option over here called Format Data Series. What is that? Format Data Series in the bottom. Then immediately a dialog box appears from your right side and there are three icons out there. The first one is dealing with fill and line. If you click inside fill and border, two options will be coming up. Go to fill. And when you go to fill, there is an option called vary colors by point. Checkbox is not activated. You can activate and see the beauty. What happens? Format data series, first icon, within that fill, and within that vary colors by point. Can you see the colorful applications on your chart area?
Yeah.
Right. So everybody is getting the same. Any doubt, any queries so far? Now you can close that window box from the right side. Now the next objective is how to make our chart.
No, in my work, it is not coming.
Could you please share your screen? Let me have a look. Yeah, go to the first one, first icon. You are in the third icon. Go to the first icon from the window box. Series options, three icons are there. Then vary colors by point, checkbox.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
Right. You can close this, both the window boxes. This format window box, then there is a research box is also open for you. This is unnecessary occupying more space. You can switch off that also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the moment we have done with this, let us see how to make our chart more informative. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, next objective is how to make our chart more informative. So to make it more informative, what we can do is right click on any of the column and you will be having an option called add data labels. And if you click that add data labels, then immediately each and every product wise respective values will be embedded on the top of each and every column.
Yeah.
Now, next step, select one of the data label. You will be finding all the data labels are in selection. All the data labels are in selection, right? Now, over here, the moment you have it, being a presenter, keeping yourself in the audience shoes, you have to confirm and ensure that your data labels are in readable format, because there is no point if the audience cannot read this, then what is the point of expressing the same inside the chart area? So what you need to do, make it bold, Control B to make it bold, B for bold. Then if you wish, slightly increase the font size by 1 or 2 points. How to increase the font size? I will tell you through the keyboard shortcut. Control, Shift and greater than symbol to increase the font size. Very helpful, this keyboard shortcuts, because this is going to work in MS Word and MS PowerPoint as well. And Control Shift less than key to decrease the font size. In fact, MS Outlook also, while you are presenting or you're writing your emails, if you want to make something bold or you want to increase the font size, you can make use of this keyboard shortcuts. Now, The moment we have gone for this, our data or chart area becomes more informative, not a problem. So far, so good. Any problem, any doubt, any queries? Everybody's in the equal page.
Yes.
Let's go for a small discussion. See, the chart, whatever we have prepared, does it look good? Being an audience, if you see, do you happy or are you feeling happy with this?
To still improve.
Yeah, always. I mean, there is somewhat or other something is there to improve, but right now at this state, somewhat it is looking good, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So this is the kind of chart, my friends. It is the outdated version of your chart. So far, whatever the efforts we have made, though it is countable, but the thing is, it is not satisfied by the audience. I mean, the audience is not going to be happy watching the same because this is the outdated version. Now, the question is how to bring the latest style. What is that latest style? I will tell you. See, the latest style, it says that if you are presenting your data in the format of a chart, then if you are maintaining the data labels, then there is no point of having axis scale. If you are maintaining the axis scale, then there is no use of giving the information in data labels. But if you compare both, which one gives a better view?
The second one, the above the bar.
Data labels,
Yeah.
definitely. So what should be the treatment for my axis scale? You should not remove that. You should not delete it. Okay. The treatment would be something different. What you can do, select your axis scale and go for decreasing the font size. Control Shift and less than symbol, keep hitting and decrease the font size. The entire axis scale will be turned into a marker. Can you see a small marker kind of stuffs it is showing over here? So this is called your latest style. If you see the Economic Times newspaper, or you are reading that, or you are visiting to any kind of money control sites, or if you see any big four firms presentations, McKinsey and Company or Bain and Company presentation or Unicom firm presentations, you will be finding all the charts will not be having this kind of axis scale. Second, chart title. Having the chart title in the center, those
One
days.
second, Prabhat.
Yeah.
Sorry to interject. Mine increase and decrease is not happening. To Control Shift and just now.
You are not using the less than or greater than symbol. You might be using the arrow keys. That's why it is not happening. You should use the keyboard's less than and more than symbol.
No, I'm using the less than and more than signal.
See, less than more than symbol after M. You are using the after M whatever the keys with control and
Yeah.
shift. With control and shift.
Control Shift.
All these three put together.
Oh, it's not happening. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, please do that.
Is it visible?
Yeah, you are not selected your data labels. First of all, you select one data label. No, you are selecting the data. Data label, that white color, small fonts are there. You select one of the font out of that, one number in any column, select the number.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Then
now
you go for
Control
operation.
Shift. Now it's happening.
Right.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, welcome. No problem. Now, the moment we have gone for this over here, okay, chart title. Having the chart title in the center, those days have gone. Nowadays, people prefer to see the chart title in the right side. So this is the latest style. So as I told you, if you see the cricket scores and all those things most of the time, or if you see any other presentations from the big four side, you will be finding always the chart title in the right side only. All right. So this is our latest style. Fine, we got it. Now the next thing is, as I have been telling you from day one itself, the moment you present your data as it is, people don't like it. So what people expect, that you present your data in such a way, it should tell the story to them. So data should be presented in a storytelling format. So what you can do, see, select your data and go for data sorting, or right click, sort, custom sort, anything you can go for it. Sort by, you go for sales in USD column, and order, you choose largest to smallest. And the moment you click OK, with immediate effect, you will be finding a beautiful story turned up. What is that? From the entire products, from product 5, we are generating the maximum revenue, and product 1 is yielding me the least of the revenue out of that. So any layman, whoever is sitting in the audience side also, he can make out this, right? So this is how we have seen that out of a boring data, a raw data, or a data which is not having any kind of life, how to turn into a beautiful presentation in terms of a charts and graphs, what are the minimum data formatting we do, how to add the colorful presentations, and how to make it informative, and how to present it finally in the format of a storytelling format. This is what we discussed. Any doubt, any queries in quick chart sheet?
No.
All right. So considering everybody is understood, now we'll go for next. The sheet name is called combo chart. Okay. So let me first take you through the data, what we have with us. We have got month, sales in INR, and the contribution. So contribution, you can make it very simple way, sales percentage, you can say sales percentage. If it is not clear contribution, but sales percentage. Okay. Now, the moment we have gone for this over here, we are going to discuss about the combo chart, right? Why combo chart is required, what is the role this is going to play, and what is the meaning by combo chart? Let's have a discussion. The moment you prepare a chart, or ideally when you come across a chart, basically how many axes you see? In any chart, how many axes you see? Column, line, bar, whatever you are following, how many axes you see?
2 axis, y axis, x axis.
Right, x and y. But problem is, nowadays we have a lot of columns or volume of data we are dealing with, but it is very difficult for us to plot the entire scenario in 2 axes. And if you try hard and finally you succeeded bringing in all the data, but the data is not giving so clear format, and the chart seems to be very diluted, messed up, or it is overloaded with data, and it is not giving a proper message to the audience. So this is the kind of problem we come across a lot of time. And this is the place where what we need to do, we need to create one more axis to the right side of our chart area, and naming the same as Z or Z axis, or we call it as secondary axis, and technically in Excel language that is called as a combo chart. And why this is needed, we have got a very beautiful piece of data. Let's go and start working with it. Select your data, keeping the cursor anywhere, select your data and plot a graph. What is the shortcut we learned?
Function alter F1.
Yeah, Alt F1 depends upon your system or brand of laptop or keyboard behavior. You can use function key along with it. I told you first thing first, what do you need to do? Going to chart design, take the last style, make a practice, make a habit of following the same rhythm. Then going to chart over here, obviously, plus symbol, remove the grid lines. That is essential. So these are the 2 things first we have to do. We did it. Hope it is done.
Yeah.
Now, let us go for understanding the data or the chart, what we have with us. Okay, stay focused, please. Can you see in the chart area, we have got our legends over here. You can see sales in INR. is there. So this is my sales in INR data in column format. It is displaying, correct?
Yeah.
Now, if you see the legend sales in percentage, this is also there, but that is nowhere appearing in the chart area. But if you see it is there, somewhere it is sitting in the bottom. Can you see? Somewhere it is sitting in the bottom.
Yes.
So this doesn't make any sense. And why the structure is like this?
Because percentage is less than the value.
No. The reason over here is our sales data, it is there in our number format. Can you see? But sales percentage, it is there in percentage format. So this is two different types of formatting of data, and both cannot be combined with one axis. Both cannot be combined with one axis. Okay, hope that is clear.
Yes.
So this is the reason why to present our sales percentage data, we need to add one more axis to the right side of your chart area, and sales in percentage will be defining over here, and that will be called as our combo chart or secondary axis or Z or Z axis. All right. So now why there is a need of combo chart? Hope you got a clarity on that.
Yeah.
So how to do it? Let's discuss. Selecting the chart, right click on the same, you have an option, change chart type. Change chart type. And it will take you to the entire chart family. And there is an option over here called combo. In the extreme bottom left, you will be finding an option called combo. And this option is available only in 2013 and above version of Excel. Earlier, it was not there. And when you go to combo, you will be finding sales data. It is showing clustered column. Let it be. Sales percentage, it is showing line. Instead of line, go for the drop down and choose line with markers. In the line category, choose line with markers. And when you go for line with markers to select, then there is a secondary axis checkbox is there, which is not selected. You got to select that also. And once you select the same, now click OK. See the beauty? You got your combo chart ready. So how to read this? See, by the legends, sales in INR in blue color column, it is showing. Sales in percentage, it is showing in the line format, and that too, this is the axis representing my sales percentage. And this is the left side axis representing my sales INR. And that makes your combo chart. So whenever you have got many more columns of data to be plotted in a single graph, you can decide which column data you want to retain in primary axis and which data you want to retain in secondary axis, completely under your call. So hope combo chart is clear.
Just a moment.
Yeah.
Select move chart, change chart type. Okay. Combo line. Okay. Line the marker. Secondary axis. Okay. Okay. Okay, done.
All right. Now we are going to deal with the next sheet. The chart type is called budget versus actuals, or target versus actuals, or planned versus actuals. This is one of the most demanded chart type in our routine activities. Every month end, quarter end, half yearly, yearly, whenever you are making the presentation, this kind of charts is very, very essential. So now the question is how to prepare such kind of chart with no time and present our data effectively. So there is a data over here, month-wise, we have got the targets and whatever the actuals, that entire things is over here. Based on this, if I want to plot a graph, so kindly select all these three columns. Do not select that cells, yellow colored cell, that is for the information only. So select month, target, and actuals, all these three columns, including the headers, and plot a graph. Okay. Now, once I have gone for this, as I told you, the first thing first, going to design, take the last tile. Then clicking the plus symbol, remove the grid lines. Now, what you can do is right click on the chart area, there's an option called change chart type. So when you go for change chart type, again, it will take you through your entire family of the chart. And here we have a combo. Just 2 minutes back only we discussed combo is there. And here, when I choose combo from the left side over here, combo, target data, it is showing clustered column. Ideally, target data looks good when you select line with markers. So go to your target chart type, line with markers. Okay. So target data will go for line with markers. And actual data, you should take it. Actual data, you should take it over here, clustered column. These are the two changes you have to do. And once you do the same, finally go and click OK and see the beauty. So can you see a beautiful target versus actuals or budget versus actuals chart is ready with no time?
Yeah.
So this is one setup. This is one format where you can present your target versus actuals or budget versus actuals or brand versus actuals. Now take a situation. Suppose you can ask me a question in return. Prabhas, every month end, I am preparing a presentation like this. Now suppose say I have presented something in the last time in this kind of format. I have presented a beautiful chart. People were quite happy. But the upcoming month, when I'm going to present the similar chart, only the data is changing, then how the audience is going to be happy, because they have already seen that. So definitely that is not going to create the similar kind of wow moment in the next month also. It's not possible, right? Now, what is the better format to present our data? Same target versus actuals, but how to present it effectively in the other format? I will tell you. See, this is one format you have presented. People are seeing that and people are happy with that. But the next month when I'm presenting the same, see how to present it effectively, doing something different. See, copy this chart. I will bringing the existing chart somewhere in the bottom. Then I'll keep the cursor next to the data and I'll paste it. The same chart is pasted. Whatever I copied, it is pasted. That's fine. Now, same chart, I'll go for right click, change chart type. And there, same combo I'll go for. Target is already line with markers is there. Actuals also, I will select like the line with markers. And I click OK. So next month, I can probably showcase something like this. So people are happen to see something different. So sometimes you can show like this, or sometimes you can show like this. Both are target versus actuals only. All right. So same, because I cannot go beyond this. I have got the data, only the data numbers alone, I can see the changes over there. But the format, if I want to change, this is the different way you can present it. So that is what about our budget versus actuals. Any doubt, any queries in budget versus actuals? All right. Now we are going to discuss one of the beautiful chart type which has come into force only in 2016 Business Edition, 2019 Office 365, and 2021 is called waterfall chart type. This is mostly nowadays in demand in the corporate world. Though you are working with production planning, or you are in HR, or you are in sales or marketing, whichever supply chain, anything, wherever you are working with, this is one of the most demanded chart type. Now the question is why this chart name is called as waterfall. Sometimes some people call it as a bridge chart, sometimes some people call it as a staircase chart also. And where it is being used, whenever you want to showcase your growth pattern, or month one month you have got the growth, positive, negative variances you want to showcase, or if you are dealing with your HR related activities, the attrition rate, the new employees joining or exit employees list, we want to eliminate and showcase the headcounts. So those cases, mostly when you want to present it, this kind of chart will be more helpful. So I'll take you through a simple example we have. Let's stay focused with that. See, suppose, say, take an example. I want to purchase a new, I want to launch a new product. For that, I have purchased raw material of 50,000. Okay. So raw material cost, I spent around 50,000. Now, based on that, to bring that raw material to my factory, I incurred around 1 lakh. So as such, if I ask you how much cost we have incurred,
50,000.
50,000 plus 1 lakh.
Yes.
So 1 lakh 50,000 we have already spent. Now, when I processed those raw material in my plant, I have incurred overhead cost or selling or all the indirect cost, you can say, of 2 lakhs. So as such, how much cost we have incurred? 50 plus 1 lakh plus 2 lakh. So total 3 lakh 50,000. All right. Now, one more input over here is we have, when I import the raw material, my government is giving some benefits or subsidies, or you can say cashback in the layman terms, or input credit in the accounting process language. So 25,000 rupees, we have got the input credit or cashback from government. So total 3,50,000 we have incurred, 25,000 we have received back. So total 3,25,000 we have incurred the cost. So this is what a tabular data we prepared. Correct? Hope all these things are clear.
Yeah.
Now, when I presented the same to my boss is not happy with these things, and he's asking me, Prabhas, why don't you plot this entire thing in a graphical presentation? Now, if I want to go for a simple graphical presentation, what is happening? Material, labor, overhead, tax credit goes down, and total cost is showing. No doubt about it. There's all this thing, but this is showing as if it is individual elements over here. So that doesn't make any sense. Got my point? So here, what would be the right format of the chart? Because why I need to go for other format of chart? Because this entire activity, whatever we are incurring, this is belong to one particular product. Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
So all these activities are interlinked. Do you believe that? This material, labor, overhead, tax credit, everything, all are interlinked. These activities are interlinked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Now, can you see any linkage between the activity in the chart area? Do you see?
No.
So that is the reason why this chart is not enough to convey the message properly. So what we can do is right click on the chart, change chart type. Here we have an option called waterfall. As I told you, you will be finding a waterfall chart. And this is available only in 2016 business editions, 2019 Office 365, 2021. And the moment we go for this over here and click OK, can you see a beautiful chart turns up?
Yeah.
So now can you see the linkage? Now can you see the connective links between one activity to the other?
Yes.
So this is what the demo of our waterfall chart. Okay. So that's why some people call it as bridge chart, because it looks like a bridge since having the connectors. Some people call it as a staircase chart because it is looking like as if you are having many more staircase over here. So some people call it as a staircase diagram, but technically this is a waterfall chart. Okay, so as such, all are clear? Right, people? If you need my support, do let me know.
No, fine.
Now, kindly stay focused on my screen for a minute. See, though we have plotted a waterfall chart, but this chart is not yet ready as a waterfall. Why? Where is the thing it has gone wrong? I will tell you. See my screen, please. If you look at our story, whatever the tabular data we have formatted as a story over here, technically, how many activities we have? Please check in this, how many activities we have?
Activities.
Sorry, how many numbers?
5.
Are you sure 5? Total cost, is it an activity?
No, total cost is not there.
See, technically we have got only 4 activity: material purchase, labor incurrence, overhead incurrence, and tax input credit. Total cost is the square of our data. This is the total. But in our waterfall chart, if you see, our total cost is also showing as if it is a separate activity. And this is the place where it has gone wrong. And this is the reason why, though we plot our data as a waterfall, but this is not yet ready as a waterfall chart. Hope that is clear. Yes, people, are you getting the same? See, I'll tell you simple, like think like a layman. When you are starting an activity, the activity has to be end. Do you agree?
Yes.
So in this entire process, my activity starts with material. Can you see? It is starting from the base. If you consider this is as your 0 point, this is the base, my material activity starts from 0. But where is the ending process? Do you see anywhere the entire activity ends over here anywhere? Is it touching to the base anywhere? So even if you think like a layman also, this is missing. So this is the place where, my friends, we have to check. What we need to do, stay focused again, which is not actually technically activity, that is called total cost. I select. So when I select, my all this rest of activities also selected, not an issue. I select one more time the total cost. So now you can see only total cost alone is selected. And then I will go for right click on the same. We have an option called set as total. What is that? Set as total. So now you see, can you see the completion of your activity now? So my activity starts over here, my activity ends over here. And this is what my waterfall chart. So how to read this? See, I have incurred a material cost of 50,000. Can you see, is it touching the line of 50,000?
Yes.
Now, when I incurred the cost of labor, labor cost comes into place only after incurrence of material cost. Without spending the money for material, can I incur the labor cost? Technically, is it possible? Without spending money for material, can I go for incurrence of labor cost? Is it technically possible? That's not possible, right? So that's why this is showing the picture, correct picture. that first in the step 1, you have incurred about material cost 50,000. And step 2, you have incurred the labor cost. So labor cost is starting not from the base. It is starting only after incurrence of your material cost. So material plus labor, 1,50,000. Is it touching the line of 1,50,000? Check. Material plus labor, is it touching the line of your 1,50,000?
Yes, yes, yes.
And now when I process the same in my plant, overhead cost around 2 lakhs I have incurred. This is the place over here. So 2 lakh plus 1,50,000. Is it touching the line of 3,50,000?
Yes.
So that's what exactly conveying the message. And finally, when my activity overseer after taking the input credit, is it touching to the base? So my activity completes over here. And this is how it has come into a waterfall chart. So taking the data, you can keep practicing about all these things. So it's not about confining only accounts of finance. You can use the same in your supply chain, your attrition rate in your chart, or production planning, anywhere you are working with, you can use this. And that's called waterfall. And again, I'm reminding you that this is available only in 2016 business editions, 2019. Okay, people, hope this is clear. So everybody's getting that flavor. Any doubt, any queries as such? Now, let us go for our next is called pie chart. So we are going to discuss now, if you have a pie chart to be created and presented, then how to present the pie chart effectively. Let's discuss. So select your data. Data is different from case to case. Since we are having a rand between formula embedded, you will be finding everyone is having a different number. So don't be panic for that regarding the sales column, why there is a different numbers. So do one thing, select your data, make it paste special values. All right, people. Now,
From where these boxes come?
Which one?
Paste special value.
Yeah, you have to copy and right click paste special. Control C to copy, right click on the same, paste special option. If you click, then this box will appear and you have to choose values.
Picture JPG, GIF, like that boxes I have in my workbook, that type of box open.
No. It will never. Have you selected your data and then copied the data?
Control A, sorry, Control C.
On the same right click, do you see a paste special option is there?
Yes, paste special.
Yeah, click on that. Now see, do you see this box kind of stops like paste?
Yeah, correct. Yes.
Yeah, go for values. And now the moment you want to plot this data in a pie chart, you need to go to insert. And in the chart category, there is a pie option over here. In chart category, there is a pie option. Go for 2D pie. And when you go for 2D pie, you will be finding a pie chart is ready.
I'm
Right,
sharing
Nicole?
my screen just a minute.
Yeah, going to insert.
Special paste, correct?
No, why you're no need to navigate. Just click on directly the paste special option. Click on that. Yeah, now
Okay.
values. Yeah, click OK. That's it. Now go to insert. In the chart section, in the chart section, yeah, pie. 2D pie, the first one. You can take that. Yeah, click on it. Right. All right, so taking the control back on the screen. Now, the moment we have gone for this, as I told you, whenever you have the chart in place, the first thing first, what do you need to do? Go into design, take the last style. So now can you see the pie chart? The pies are looking somewhat bit vibrant and kind of a 3D impact it is coming up. This kind of legends is not playing any role in the pie chart. In the bottom, you see month-wise some legends it is created. This doesn't play any role. You can select and delete so that we can use that space for our chart presentation. Chart title, you can keep it to the right side, not an issue. So now we'll see what else we can do with regard to the chart. As I told you, you have to first make it more informative. So how to make it more informative? Right click on any of the pie and go for add data labels. The moment you go for right click on the pie, add data labels, can you see the data labels are embedded, but some data labels are outside of the pie area, some are inside of the pie area. So we need to maintain some uniformity. And the ideal one, it is always better maintain the data labels outside the pie area. And how to make it? Select your one of the data label. All these data labels would be in selection. Right click on the same. You will be finding format data labels. And when you go for format data labels over here, you can notice over there, a dialog box appears on the screen, no doubt. Now, over here, you will be finding our label positions. It is showing by default as best fit. The label positions, it is showing by default as best fit. Instead of that, what you need to do is select outside end. Select outside end. This is what we need to do. And the moment I select outside end, can you see all the data labels are appearing outside of the pie area?
Yes.
And as I told you, make it bold, make it readable by the audience, so make it bold. And if there is a need, increase the font size by 1 or 2 points. All right. So far, everybody is good.
Yes.
Now, the moment we have done with this, as we know one thing, at any point of time, pie charts, data labels cannot be ever expressed in terms of numbers. Ideally, it should be in data labels in pie chart. How do you see? Percentage? Absolutely right. So here in the dialog box, can you see a percentage option is there? That checkbox you need to activate. So you need to activate percentage. Okay. Now, once you have percentage applied over here, values doesn't play any role. So you can deactivate your value. Next, immediate above to the percentage, you will be finding values there that you have to deactivate. So when you go and deactivate the value, you will be finding respective pies will be embedded with our respective percentage values, no issues. But having the mere percentage value doesn't make any sense, obviously, because again, people will be asking, what is this 9%, which month that data belong to? Before people ask, provide those information. How? There is a category name checkbox is there, which is not activated. You can activate category name. So when you activate category name, can you see each and every data labels are embedded with the month details also?
Yeah.
Now, though we have got month and data labels or month or value in percentage both in one data label, but they are appearing as if it is two different lines over here. So we need to bring it over here with a perfect meaningful format. How? There is a separator over here. You can see there is a separator over here, and there is a drop down box is there towards the right side. And this separator, if you drop down, if you click, there is an option in the bottom called space. And immediately when you click the space option, can you see the data labels now? It is coming up in a beautiful format.
Yes.
So all these necessary changes, it is needed in any pie chart whenever you are preparing or presenting at your workplace. So this window box work is over. Now you can close this. Okay. So once we have done up to this level, now the next question arises, as we have been discussing already. Whenever you present your data as it is, people don't like it. And what is the expectation from the audience? You should present your data in such a way, it should tell the story to the people. So how to present our pie chart in a storytelling format? Let's discuss. So first 1 minute, you please watch my screen carefully. What I'm doing, understand. The next 1 minute, you can try the same on your screen also. See, in this entire pie chart, I have to first identify which month I have got the maximum percentage. So if you look at in my screen, I have got maximum percentage during the month of Feb and as well as in the April, both are there. So when percentage is same, then I have to focus in the values. So in Feb 4617, in April 4864. So technically April is more, though percentage value is same, but value wise April is more. Okay. So whichever the month have the maximum percentage, you have to always align that particular pie exactly over here in this angle. I mean, in this position, top left corner, facing to the top left corner, you have to align that. So in my case, April is there in the bottom right corner. So I have to take that pie in the top left corner. I have to align. So this is one thing I have to do. So how to do that? See, the moment I go for right click on any of the pie, there is an option appears format data series. And when I go for format data series, a dialog box appears. And over here, if you see, there is a option angle of first slice. There is a marker over here and there is a bar over here. So I have to go and slide this marker over there in this bar. Okay. So as long as I'm sliding over here, gradually this pie chart will start rotating. See, when I go and increase this bar, okay, can you see pie chart starts rotating? Okay, so I have to rotate the pie chart and I have to bring that maximum percentage exactly aligning to the over here, the top left corner as I was showing you. So this is what we did. Okay, so please do that. Right click on any of the pie and format data series. You will be finding that. So whichever the month you have the maximum percentage, that alone you should align in the top left corner. Right, people? Able to do any challenge anybody is facing? Need my support?
No.
All right. Now, kindly stay focused on my screen. When I have done with this, okay, over here, I select one of the pie. You can see all the pies are in selection. Okay. Now, the same April month, which is containing the maximum value, I select one more time. So only one pie is in selection. You can see on my screen, only one pie is in selection. So now what I need to do, the moment you go to any Pizza Hut or you order a pizza at your home, how do you take a slice out? Similarly, you hold the slice and you can take it out. And that becomes a story. What kind of story? Out of the entire 12 months data, during the month of April, we got the maximum revenue compared to other. So anybody, any layman, whoever is sitting also in the audience, he can make out what I'm trying to say. All right, people. Hope it is working. Makes sense. Now, I'm going to tell you one beautiful hidden tip of our pie chart. You would have noticed, but you have never paid attention to that, how it is being happened. I'll tell you. See, sometimes what it happens, friends, the moment you are presenting your data labels in the pie chart area, uh, if there is a very marginal difference, very minute difference will be there, one data label will be overlapping with the other. Sometimes it happens and it seems so cluttering of our data, or data seems like it is overlapping with one another and people are not happy watching the same. So in that case, when we believe that our data labels are playing a great role in terms of information, so how to present it effectively, I'll tell you. So please stay focused in my screen for 1 minute. Take an example. Suppose I have got my October and November overlapping with each other. If you see the data labels, okay. So when I select one of the data label, all the data labels are in selection. That's fine. Now I will go and select the November alone one more time. So can you see only the November month alone data label is in selection? I will just hold it and I'll drag it to the right side because I have got enough space. Now, can you see immediately one connector creates over here, right? So now I can present it, each and every data bars, whatever it is there, that space I can utilize and I can showcase it like this. So people will love to see that. And trust me, people will believe that you are creating the connectors one by one, that too manually. But whereas we have never done such kind of stuffs. So this is how you can add more flavor or beauty to the pie chart whenever you believe that your data labels are not displayed properly. You can manage all these things. All right. Helpful?
Yeah.
Right. So this is what we have seen, that how to present our pie charts effectively any point of time in Excel. So go to the next sheet. So this is just for information. Sometimes you may come across this kind of chart, is called benchmark chart. So this is nothing but another version of your target versus actuals, or plan versus actuals, or budget versus actuals. You can see. So nothing to worry about. There is no such kind of chart in our Excel naming like benchmark chart, but this is what people call it as a benchmark chart. Okay. Next, coming to automatic chart. So what is this automatic chart? Have you heard of this any point of time in Excel, that you command Excel having the data with you, you will be commanding to Excel and Excel will be recognizing your voice and plotting the graph. Is it possible? So such kind of artificial intelligence, so far Microsoft has not come up with. Probably they may come. Okay. Automatic chart is something we have to plot our data in a graphical format only once in such a way. Whenever you go and upload your data, your chart will be updated accordingly. So that's called your automatic chart. It will be more clear when you start working with our data. Don't worry. Numbers are again different because of rand between formula. So don't be panic for that. In our data, you see Jan to December is there. Kindly delete from March to December. In our data set, kindly delete March to December. All right. Now, kindly look at my screen. No need to do anything. Kindly look at my screen. See, I have got 2 months data. I can plot a graph. I plotted. My chart is ready. Tomorrow, when I complete the business for the month of March and I plot my data, do you see my data is being added in the existing chart? Do you see the March month data anywhere plotted in the graph?
No.
And why it is happening? Because when you see the chart, then only you realize my data is populated, but my chart range is not extended to March. And what we do in that case, we take the mouse pointer and slightly we increase the range like this. Then only the March data is being populated inside the chart area. This is the practice we do have. Do you agree?
Yes.
There is nothing wrong. Whatever we are doing is absolutely correct. But the question is the task, whatever, or the action, whatever I am doing, it is recurring in nature. Every month end, I have to keep on doing the same. Slightly, I have to keep on increasing the range. Then only my chart will be populated. Now you can ask me a question, Pravas, cannot I take like this kind of a random range like this? What will be happening? Unwanted spaces will be created in the chart area. I cannot do that. So this is the place where, my friends, we have to improve our standard of reporting. So how to do that? Let's see. We have got month end revenue. Now you can start working with me. Select your data. Okay. Now the first thing what we need to do, convert your data into table. I told you in day 2 multi-DB filter, how to convert your data into table. What was the keyboard shortcut? Anybody quickly?
Control T.
Very good. Control T, T for Tango, T for table. So that will be helping me to bringing me this kind of dialog box. Now the moment you click OK, you will be finding your data has converted into table. So this is the first thing you should do. Now, plot your data in a graph. So Alt F1, function Alt F1 depends upon your keyboard behavior, whatever the shortcut, Alt F1 or function Alt F1. Chart is ready. Now do all the necessary things, whatever we have learned in our quick chart sheet, please apply one by one. So please let me know, what is the first step? When you have the chart, what you have learned? What is the first thing we should do?
Remove the grid line.
No, that is not the first step.
Select the last.
Last, the last.
Right, going to design, take the last style. Step 1. Step 2. Plus symbol, remove the grid lines. Step 3. Add the data labels. Do the necessary customization to the data labels over there. If data labels are there, treatment for the axis scale. Decrease the font size. Chart title, I told you, always in the right side. How to have multicolor effect? Right click on any of the column, format data series, fill, vary colors by point. So all these things, whatever we have learned, we have implemented the same in our chart and we made a clean presentation. So please confirm once it is done.
Yes.
Now, once you do all these things over here, people, then please stay focused on my screen for a minute. Tomorrow, when I complete the business for the month of March, so just update your month only. No need to do anything with your data side. Only update your month. So if I go and type MAR, March is coming up inside the chart area. If I go and type April, April is coming up. If I go for May, May is added. If I go for June, over June also comes up. Can you imagine? With the same interval, all the formatting features enabled over there, data labels are getting updated automatically, and my chart is also getting populated according to the data points. Now here, data comes automatically because of rand between formula. So don't expect Excel will understand your data. You have to spend time for typing the data. But see the beauty, what you can do is when you are presenting your data for the quarterly information, you don't need to show the entire data to the people. You can go to that filter from the month and choose which quarter data, suppose say April, May, and June I am presenting. I can go and click OK. So what people are looking for or what exactly they need, that alone I am presenting. So unwanted data I am not showing to the people, unwanted questions are not going to come, and within that limited timeline, whatever I have allocated with, I could successfully present that. So this is the beauty again, one more information of converting your data into table, how it is playing a role. So since day 1 till day 4, your format as table option plays a very important role in different scenarios we have come across. And this is how about your automatic chart. So hope everybody is able to do. Just check it out. Is it happening?
Very color point.
All right, people. So this is it from our day 4 side. And this is the end of our training session. Any doubt, any queries from day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, anything, you can ask me. Hope you guys enjoyed the session.
Yes, yes.
So do you believe that, yeah, do you believe that, do you feel that it was worth spending time and money as well?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, thank you
It's
so
day
much.
to day, very useful for day to day.
Right. So that is what.
Somehow it will help us.
Right.
Me also.
Right. So any doubt, any queries, you can very well drop me your mails to the following email ID, what I am sharing in my chat box. So this is for the doubt clarifications purpose. This email is being used, and that is especially under my control. So don't worry, whenever you are sending your queries, please drop me some sample data so that we'll be in the equal page of understanding. And I'll be definitely giving you the better options with the formula, functions, features, whatever it is. So mark my words, you'll be getting your response maximum day or 2, depending upon the complexity of the situation. So don't worry about it. But practice is very much needed. So as I have been sharing day-wise recordings, so the what today also I'm going to share it across. Please go through that case studies, whatever you have with you. Keep practicing about all these things. So if you have any queries for the day, you can ask me, no issues. Or if you want to share something about the program, Prabhas, this kind of things could have been added, some kind of improvements could have been done. So I'll definitely consider that, because that is how I have been keep on polishing the contents and as well as my skills as well. So you are welcome, not an issue.
The session was very nice, Prabhas, and
Okay.
Very crisp. You were very patient. I think quite good in explaining the stuff. Your voice is good. Look, I
Thank you.
think that is, that sounded a lot of effort. I think very sober, and I think. So one suggestion in terms of whenever you have a batch, and if there is no last minute people joining, but if they are from some background, like in this batch there are from insurance or banking, so maybe in that field more what all things are required. If that if out of 16 hours, say for example Vlookup is important for that batch or their thing, so then that can be more time, or maybe a dashboard is required for that group. If there is some common, out of say 8 people, 4 people are from the similar background, so maybe the content थोड़ा ज़्यादा उस पे और ज़्यादा अगर spend करेंगे तो it is good for the entire group. Just a suggestion.
Right. That you have told me other day, and in fact, if you remember, that is the reason why I always take down your expectation. Though we have our ready-made agenda, I always take down your expectation. If you remember day one when we started, I took first. I have asked for a small introduction about yourself to understand your role and your profile, what you're working with, and what is the expectation from the session. Based on that, only the content is being modified. And as I have been telling you, in group session, it is very difficult to manage the entire show in 16 hours. Trust me, nobody can do also, because every day, I mean, past 17 years, I have got the experience in the industries and the corporates I have been providing training. I always try to give the best. Trust me, though it is my small client or it's a MNC, whoever it is, I always try to reach to my participants. And even though one participant is very poor, I don't leave his hand. I always bring him to that much of level, and at least he should learn from the session. That is my motive all the time. But the problem is what is happening, I mean, in this kind of public workshops, when different domain people are coming up, it's very difficult to satisfy. But yes, as I told you, Avinash, I mean, I will consider that point up to what extent it is possible, we'll try to manage.
So, boss, one more thing.
Please.
It's advanced Excel training. There is one more thing is that कि आप Google Sheet के through dashboard तैयार होता है. There is something one thing.
No, Google Sheet में dashboard नहीं है, Google Studio होता है, एक platform है Google Studio. But Google Studio dashboard हम क्यों नहीं use करते हैं कि everybody is not using the Google Workspace. People are still using Microsoft. Okay. तो Google Studio एक next generation reporting tool है. If the organization is migrating to Google Workspace, then you can use Google Studio and you can use your data in cloud and you can work around with that.
Because I have attended one session of advanced Excel and he told me some data, then he converted into Google Sheet and then make it some dashboards.
मैं बोल देता हूँ आपने जतन शाह बोल के एक ट्रेनर का ट्रेनिंग अटेंड किया होगा, क्योंकि वही एक ट्रेनर है जो कि गूगल स्टूडियो में डैशबोर्ड बताता है, करेक्ट?
शायद यस हो सकता है, मैंने बात काफी पहले ज्वाइन किया है.
हाँ, तो वो बंदा मैं जानता भी हूँ, मतलब आए दिन वो डैशबोर्ड बताता है. अभी देखो, मेरा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन अगर गूगल स्टूडियो यूज नहीं कर रहा है, दे डू नॉट परमिट टू यूज गूगल स्टूडियो, तो सीख के इम्प्लीमेंट मैं कैसे करूंगा? हाँ, अपने लिए मैं कर सकता हूँ, लेकिन गूगल स्टूडियो को फिर से लेके मुझे एक्सेल में उसको कनेक्ट करने में बहुत दिक्कत हो जाती है. गेटिंग माई पॉइंट?
ओके.
तो वहां पे जब तक गूगल वर्कस्पेस में काम कर रहे हो, गूगल शीट यूज करो, गूगल स्टूडियो यूज करो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. यू कैन प्ले अराउंड. See, there are a lot of tools for dashboards. It's not about only Google Studio. We have got Zira, we have got big data, we have got Hadoop, we have got Power BI, we have got Tableau, we have got Rally. There are so many plenty of tools nowadays in the market, because the entire generation is talking about AI tool. Got my point? तो ऐसे गूगल स्टूडियो एक प्लेटफॉर्म है, ले सकते हैं.
Yeah. Session is very good.
Yeah.
There is a work session.
Thank you. Yes, Avinash, you will be getting the course completion certificate by tomorrow max. So I request everyone, those who are looking for the certificate, please drop me a message with your exact name to be printed on the certificate so that there won't be any kind of spelling mistakes. Okay,
Yes.
fine then. So yes, Parag, आप कुछ और बोलना चाहते थे शायद?
नहीं.
Okay, great. Fine then, people. So keep practicing. I'm always there to support. Don't worry about it. So make some difference at your workplace. I wish you all the best. And most important thing about your health, stay safe, take care, because of the new variant which is prevailing in nowadays. It's very dangerous. So please take care of yourself and about your family. That's very, very important. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes, Vaibhav, tell me.
मेरा क्वेश्चन था
हाँ, पूछिए ना।
पावर बीआई जो टूल है
जी,
वो किस लिए यूज किस लिए होता है?
हाँ, पावर बीआई
उसका
जो
यूज क्या है?
पावर बीआई जो टूल होता है वो बेसिकली डेटा विजुअलाइजेशन एंड डेटा फोरकास्टिंग एंड डेटा एनालिटिक्स के लिए यूज होता है।
मतलब हम मैक्रो बना सकते हैं?
हाँ, उसमें मैक्रो नहीं, उसका अलग सा है, स्क्रिप्टिंग होता है, लैंग्वेज अलग सा होता है उसमें।